Air.
Water.
Fire.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of a strange comet in the sky, members of all nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
My name is Bree, also known as Pretty Pixel, and I am playing Sherva, a warrior from the Fire Nation.
I play Marco, a firebender from the Fire Nation.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Oki, a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
I'm Brandon, and I'm Rung Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hey, I'm Dave, and my character is Al, the airbender from the Air Nomads.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. I said now, but hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Say hi, everybody. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody!
Thank you for following my strict instructions. Those of you who said hello, everybody, will not be murdered tonight. So well done, everybody. Welcome back for some Avatar Legends, our fantastic Avatar RPG by Magpie Games that we have been thoroughly enjoying. Oh, look, we got Cora on the stream. How appropriate. Look at that. Those of you who can see us live or can see YouTube, can see Ali's.
Heard on the crash in the background, so I'm glad she's there.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on her.
She's sticking out my mouse.
Cora, yeah, very appropriately named Cora for this stream tonight. Cora is very welcome on the stream. But yeah, so thank you for joining us. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys have had a lovely week since we saw you last on Wednesday for our D&D stream. Lots and lots of fun that session. We've only got 2 sessions left of D&D before the Christmas break, and we're going to be having a guest character or 2 step in for one of those sessions, and then after Christmas we'll have a guest character or 2 stick around for a couple of sessions, while Claire and Michael, who play Mira and Lockie respectively, are off for a little bit of a Christmas holiday, very well-deserved Christmas holiday. So we will be we'll be bringing in some guest characters and continuing the campaign as normal. In terms of Avatar, definitely we're doing a session tonight. I would love to do a session next week as well. After that, we might break for Christmas, give everyone a bit of a chance to have a bit of some time off, rest, relax, have some sleeping streams, because apparently they're really popular right now, and then we'll come back in January, obviously, with more Lost Archives Avatar Legends. So, I think we better jump straight into what happened last session, because last session was a... we lost Ali, she's dropped out.
I just heard in the background, Cora, no! And then I see like the screen
Because I just saw Ali like this look of fright come into her eyes, and then her camera cut, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Hopefully she's okay.
God. She's such a good girl, like the real Cora. Doesn't cause any problems.
For those of you who are listening to the podcast, Ali and Brandon's dog, who is appropriately named Cora, just disconnected, I think, Ali's computer power from the sounds of things. We'll find
Don't hear
out
any
later.
sounds or anything. Find out.
He just hears silent weeping coming from the next room. Right, well, we better do a little bit of a recap. So, last session, our lovely, lovely people, Oki of the Water Tribe, Rung of the Earth Nation, Al of the Air Nomads, and Marco and Sherva of the Fire Nation, have been traveling around, having a bit of time in the Earth Kingdom, exploring and enjoying themselves. No, I'm kidding. They're running for their lives as a result of a bit of a disaster that occurred at the Summit of Leaders. With the death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of Sozin's comet in the sky, the four nations came together to organise a historic meeting of diplomats and leaders, which took place at the Beifong Summer Estate. However, a conflict broke out between the Dai Li and Fire Nation soldiers, so our lovely group of young heroes has had to flee into the desert, into the Si Wong Desert. Assisted by a sandbender called I, they spent some time at the Misty Palms Oasis before heading out to search the desert in hopes of locating the lost library of one Tong. he who knows 10,000 things. Now, last session, the party actually managed to find the lost library following one of the fox spirits who was responsible for bringing knowledge to Wan Shi Tong. The library itself was protected and hidden behind this wall of bursting sand and high winds, which they had a bit of trouble navigating, but luckily, having an airbender and a sandbender with them, they were able to get through this barrier and access the library of Wan Shi Tong. Upon entering, the spirit allowed them access to the library in exchange for knowledge, and each of them provided some unique knowledge. Marco kind of carrying the team quite heavily through that section, providing lots of little tidbits, along with Al on the spot improvising an airbender nursery rhyme, I believe.
No, he's been using that to teach the kids for a long time, so it wasn't on the spot.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
Yes.
Dave just in the moment improvised on the spot, but Al had known for most of his life. You were allowed access to the library. Rung, Al, and Oki headed straight for the bending scrolls, wanting to have a bit of an explore of the different bending styles, see if they could learn and pick up some tricks. And indeed, they were able to spend a bit of time learning some new techniques. Marco and Sherva headed deep below into the archives in an attempt to try and locate the origin of a symbol which they had come across in the warship owned by General Zhao. Not having a huge amount of luck locating the symbol, they rejoined their comrades up in the Bending Scrolls arena and were able to learn a few new techniques. Sherva sort of learning a few fighting techniques, and Marco coming across some information on the creation of lightning bending. And in the top left-hand corner of that scroll was the symbol that he had been searching for, which I think has got Marco a little bit intrigued. However, before our adventurers could spend too much time practicing and learning these new skills, the library was shook by a vast quake, echoing through the halls as sand began falling down from the ceiling. Realizing that potentially their time in the library might be coming to a close, our adventurers sprinted for the exit. Before they could reach the large doors, however, Wan Shi Tong, the giant owl spirit, flew overhead and landed on the gangway, blocking sort of their view too much of the doorway. And with another shake and crash, the doors burst inwards, revealing a fire priest, a Fire Nation priest, dressed in the long robes with a large conical hat, stepping forward, who said, "Wan Shi Tong, he who knows 10,000 things, we have need of your library." Behind him, a number of Fire Nation soldiers and firebenders. 3 firebenders and 4 Fire Nation soldiers. You can see at the feet of the soldiers is a large battering ram that has the shape of a dragon's head on the front, cast in metal, that is now being tossed aside now that the doors have been breached. Wan Shi Tong, who's looking at these people as they enter, clicks his beak angrily, but says nothing for the moment. The Fire Nation soldiers step forward. My question is, what are you guys doing? At this point, you are still back on the upper level, so there's no way they have seen you just yet. The way that you have come down with the light behind them and you in darkness, you know that they wouldn't have seen you just at this moment. But you are not hidden. My question is, what would you guys like to do?
You said we're on the upper level?
Yeah, so you went up some stairs
level.
to get to the Bending Scrolls, so you're on the upper level. Wan
So we're
Shi
like
Tong
above
flew
them?
over you. Yes, you're looking down over a balcony onto a large gangway that connects the lower levels, and Wan Shi Tong standing on the gangway, and the Fire Nation soldiers have just come in through the door.
They
This
never
priest.
expect earthbenders from the ceiling.
They never expect to for the stealing. Exactly right. No one looks up.
No one ever expects the Earthbending Inquisition.
I'm feeling we got to use our shadows to our advantage. We have air, wind, fire, water, everything we could want. 2 of those are the
And
same things. and Peggy. So we got everything we need right now. Don't know why that came in my head then. So what do you think if we can make the ground beneath the mud, we can stop them at the gate, and then we swoop down with blast them with air, and then throw fire at them. It's a very half-assed plan. Guys, I'm going to need some help here. Maybe got something here.
I think Al looks at Mako and Sherva and is trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
That's a really subtle way of being like, so what are you doing?
Like I'll like things that you might know these people, or like because like a lot of the air nomads know each other, so he just assumes a lot of the Fire Nation people know all the other Fire Nation people.
Is it
Wow.
is the dude like leading the charge a general that I know?
So the dude leading the charge is a priest of the Fire Nation. So you
Thought he
don't
might be a
recognize
cook.
him off the back.
He's
He
got a
looks like
conical hat
a
like a chef.
What was that? Sorry, Brandon.
He's got a big conical hat like a chef. I was like, maybe he's a cook. Let's come here, but no.
Well, he's cooking with fire.
Maybe. I will say
Chef
right
hat-
now,
Anyway,
he's dressed in long layered red robes, red and orange and yellow robes. He has the Fire Nation insignia all over him, various points, and the actual robes themselves, the black symbol of the Fire Nation is tattooed across the robes. His head is shaved, and there is a large conical hat coming off the back. You absolutely, Marco and Sherva, you instantly recognize this as a priest of the Fire Nation.
He sounds like a love child of an air nomad and a firebender.
Yeah, it could be. But what you would instantly know, there are some things that your characters would just know about the Fire Nation priests. So the Fire Nation priests are supposed to be loyal to the Avatar, as are the priests and representatives of all nations for the Avatar. So each nation has, so there'd be, I think they're called shamans in the Water Tribe. They're the ones who help guide the Avatar's spiritual side in the Water Tribe. For the Fire Nation, it's the exact same thing. The Earth Nomads, everyone's a little bit spiritual, so there's more gurus within the Earth, within the Air Nomads who look after the Avatar. And then for the Earth Nation, they're known as scholars, or I think they're spiritual leaders. I can't remember the full name for the Earth Nation ones, but there's different groups of religious style representatives who are supposed to be loyal only to the Avatar. Marco and Sherva, you know that since the death of Avatar Roku in the last little bit of time, there's been a lot of talk, especially Marco. Your father would have been talking a lot about the allegiance of the priests and where it may lie now. And a lot of speculation around that.
You said there were the fire priests, 3 benders and 4 soldiers, so 8
Yes.
people all up?
Yes.
Wrong.
We could
Eight's a
take
lot of people.
'em.
8 would be a lot of people, but we also have 2 book nerds hiding around this place somewhere, potentially in a bookshelf somewhere. And we have a bird that knows more than 10,000 things, 2,008 things now. So I think we got a good chance at this one. And if we take the bird, we could get more books. More books means more dirt spells. So I think we do it.
I'm pretty
A
sure they
glory.
don't know any kind of fighting.
Yeah.
They might have read a book.
Does Wan Chi Tong look like they're going to sort of engage in combat with these soldiers, or is he just sort of stopping them at this point?
So I've sort of paused time a little bit because I imagine that, like, I've described a little bit of what's happening, but I wanted to kind of know what you guys were doing during that time. If you're comfortable for me to kind of describe a little bit further, because at this point Wan Chi Tong's only had a little moment to react, and that reaction was to hiss at them, extend his neck and hiss as they were breaking down the door, and then when they broke the door open, he's sort of retreated a little bit, and he's clicking his beak in annoyance, and his claws are ticking on the stone floor. Yeah, that's it, Bree. Exactly like that.
Could Oki just quickly ask Wan Chi Tong,
No.
would you like us to fight on your behalf?
So you guys are,
you
so at
wish to
this
in-
point, so for Wan Chi Tong, just so you know, so Wan Chi Tong is probably about 40 meters away from you, down the
okay.
gangway, right in front of the doors. So he flew over you and then landed on the gangway below you to basically block the view of the doorway and to focus on what was coming into his library. He's the reason that they haven't noticed you yet, because as you break down the doors, there's a giant fucking owl spirit right in front of you, clicking its beak angrily. Your focus is a bit drawn to that. If they were to look up towards the right, just over his shoulder, they would see you.
All right, guys, quick huddle. We going to engage these guys in a fight if Wan Chi Tong does, or are we going to go hide in the library somewhere where they won't find us?
I have an idea.
I think we help out.
Siege artillery.
That's my plan.
I mean, we could
We
just
have-
leave, beat them to the lodestone.
Oh no, I think a different group went there, so it's not
Mm,
relevant.
okay.
I think one thing we could do, we have the high ground. They don't see us right now. We have rocks, we have air, we have fire. How about we just like lay volley on them? We have the high ground, Anakin. And we just lay siege on these guys. We can just like volley just like rocks and like fire at them from the distance. And just like they're right there in the big gate, so we can just focus fire on them all right there.
How much do you think the owl will appreciate us fighting though?
I think we
he'd
should
rather
wait for
lose
his
some
lead.
rocks.
I think if we wait for his lead, if he engaged them in fighting, then we will engage them in fighting, away from all of his priceless possessions, mind you.
If not, if they get inside, we can just take
then we
them out
hide.
one by one.
Yeah. Assassinate
Can
them
we-
one at a time.
Like, would you be able to earthbend up like a wall and just push them out?
I could earthbend a wall up to make a funnel strat. I could just funnel them into a hallway, and we could just go.
Or you could just push them out.
Or a wall. Or a wall's also a good idea. I could just put up a wall. You're right, but they've got a siege weapon in front of the wall.
Yeah, they've got like a literal battering ram right there.
I'll just describe the doorway of the library again for you, just so that you can think through that plan a bit more. 10 meters high, made of wood reinforced with metal, splintered and broken in a central hole where this battering ram has been used to batter down the door. You think that probably the earth wall that you can create and push them out with, you don't think that's going to be much of a problem for these guys who've just beaten down this door.
So that's the first problem. Second problem is, how'd they make it through the sandstorm?
That's the secret. If you can hum music, it actually offsets the harmonics and allows you to pass
The
through.
priest's name is Darude.
I almost said in Wan Shi Tong's voice, it is Darude of you to enter this way. I changed my mind.
It's been said now, though. It's been said.
Wow, what do you mean?
Okay.
Oh, I see. Because I see. Oh, my bad.
Okay, so how do we feel about holding our like volley fire until like he does something? He makes the move.
Yeah.
We like bam, 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 bam.
All right,
Or I could go down and talk to them, like I did in the village.
that might work
Okay.
too.
You go talk to them, and we'll wait to go bam, bam, bam.
Oh, when I saw your face, I think you're the only one that realized.
Yeah.
What?
I've been worried.
Realize
like,
what?
No, I was stifling a yawn. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. It's fine.
I was
I
very
just, had
worried,
a, I just had a thought about.
Yeah, like how
Look
bad could
tired.
you talking to them go?
No, not that. No, sorry. Don't get the wrong idea. Please feel free to go and talk
Please
to
go
them.
talk-
I
no,
had
I'm
it. There
good.
was something else that I suddenly realized about Rung's plan that would have some hilarious consequences. So I'm just gonna make a note of that, and we'll keep that run running.
I think we just
Seems
wait.
flawless, guys.
I mean, you and I can go down and talk to them and find out what's going on. It's
Nope.
not like they would know that we've gone missing or anything.
Yeah,
or that
no,
we're
we've
on
gone
the
missing or
run,
anything,
like,
or that we're wanted.
it's not
or
like, you're an important delegate's son.
they might
who,
want to keep us under
know-
house arrest.
Or you could go down there and start bossing them around. Be their new king.
I think a priest outranks me slightly.
Well,
But you have privilege.
yeah, you could check your privilege, Marco, and see how much you've got and whether you can use it.
True. And I have my badge of authority.
Yeah, that's a lot of privilege
I
right there.
I didn't take anything that would help me right now.
All right, because you guys have spent a bit of time talking, I'm going to assume that is about roughly. Am I going to say so? That is roughly about the same amount of time that you've had to react, plus a bit extra, because I'm generous. My question to
Are
you
we
right
essentially
now,
just watching the foe?
Yeah. At this point, you're just watching them, going like, "Wow, what's going on there, guys?
No,
What do we do?"
it's like the thing that you can roll for. Watch your foe to figure out what they're doing.
Would you like to
Assess the situation.
assess the
Choose
situation?
an engaged foe to carefully
Engaged.
observe.
You're not engaged. They haven't taken you out for
True.
dinner and a movie even, so you've got a long way to go. No, so you're not in combat right now. But if you did want to do assess the situation, it sounds like all of you are assessing a situation. So what I'll do, I was going to say
sorry.
that two of you can roll. So Oki's chosen herself. Who else would like
My
to roll
bad.
to assess a situation?
Who's got creativity?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's got good creativity?
Good point. I have 0.
I do. I have
I
+1.
did.
Yeah.
All right, go on then, Al.
The bolds.
Oh yeah, the bolts. Yeah.
I want to say Al is like just navigating the upper floor, so he's like above them as opposed to like on the sides or anything like above them or behind them. If that
So at
makes
this
sense.
point, so where you guys are positioned, just so I can paint a little picture for you. Oh, Al,
that's
5. This is a large square room. On the north side is the passageway to the deeper archives, the stairway down to the deeper archives. To the south is the staircase up to where you guys are. You guys are against the south wall. You're basically on the south wall. To the west is more archives and more knowledge. Sorry, to the east is more archives and more knowledge. To the west is the doorway that they've just broken down. So they're to the left of you. So as you look towards the north, they're to the left, down a level. If that makes any sense.
So then Al navigates as far bottom left as he can to be
Absolutely. Al, as you're looking around, you're so focused on like being stealthy and being quiet that you're not really paying attention too much to what is actually going on down there. You hear some dude with a weird voice say something. You hear Tong respond with something else, but nothing much really catches your. You just really focus. You're like, I'm going to be sneaky and get into position. And when I'm in position, I can listen to what they're saying, and then I'll know what they're saying. But you don't actually listen to what they're saying on your way to this sneaky position.
He gives Rung a thumbs up from where he is. Hasn't heard anything, but he's just like.
I'm just like halfway riding on a rock. I'm just like, yeah, drop the rock.
The dumb detectives are on it. So then Oki, you do, as you're sort of in position, sort of pressed up against one of the large pillars that hold up the ceiling, you do catch a little bit of information. Assessing the situation, what do you want to ask? What question did you want to ask?
Are they going to engage Wan Shi Tong / the library in combat? Like, if Wan Shi Tong doesn't let them in, are they going to fight for their way in, essentially?
That's a really good question. It looks at this point, with the firebenders out in front, hands raised, fire in their hands, it is a very aggressive stance. However, the priest, who sort of pushes through them, is taking a much more diplomatic approach with Wan Shi Tong. At this point, you're not sure whether this is going to end up as a fight or not. You think it kind of depends on the next little bit of time, what's going to happen over the next bit, how the conversation with Wan Shi Tong goes. And also, if you were to intervene, that would definitely play a role in how this might play out.
I think what Oki might do is just sort of gesture to the others, just to sort of stay where you are, like right now, keep watching, and just wait and see how this goes, essentially. Like, if it turns into combat, let's do this, but if not, let's go, like, hide somewhere and be sneaky.
Marco and Sherva.
I'm gonna assume Lee and me aren't with us right now.
Lee and me are not with you. They went directly into the archives.
So they could
basically
come
straight
running out at
forward.
any second. Okay, cool. Don't grin like that.
What do you mean? I know what you're talking about.
For podcast listeners, he's grinning a lot.
He has a very smug smirk across his face.
like
eyebrows
way
as
too
well.
smart.
He's up to something, I can tell.
It's not even a grin. There's no teeth. It's just self-satisfied, smug smirk, as Bree said. It's the smirk of a
I would
man
be
who
paying
knows you're
attention
going
to
to
that.
die.
That's just
What?
something that. I'm just going to be ready to engage them. Like, because I personally
So-
don't trust anyone from the Fire Nation at the moment,
Okay.
Apart from Sherva, right?
No,
Same.
including Sherva.
including Shaw.
given the way he like tells you his plans before he enacts them, Sherva, given the way he like helps you in combat, I mean, he clearly trusts you quite a bit.
Look,
Yeah,
she knows
and
where I
Sherva.
am at all times. It's really scary.
Only if I've done my thing.
Which we will do when you guys have a chance to sleep.
I think I will just kind of position myself kind of in front of the others as like kind of a body block and like kind of push them back just a little bit to keep them in the shadows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except obviously Al, who's just fucked off to the side and run away.
Yep.
Yeah,
again.
Again.
Yeah.
Is this when you tell us he's not going to be here next session because he's wandered off again?
Unfortunately, yeah, Dave's got another commitment, so we're going to murder Al brutally. No.
He had me worried.
He just doesn't know he has another commitment at this current point in time.
He's going to be mourning the death of his character. That's his commitment.
But I definitely think we wait and see how the owl reacts.
See how the owl reacts. Okay. In that case, then.
I can't remember his name.
Wan Shi Tong.
Look.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, we better do.
Him the owl.
Okay, that's fine. You can call him the owl. Well, in that case, we better do the next little bit of dialogue between him and the Fire Nation soldiers. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to say before we advance time a little bit, and you get to kind of see what they're doing.
Could I, with my new sandy mud skills, be preparing
which you
like
haven't
a little
fully mastered, which you have just started to practice.
Yeah, that would be a lot, wouldn't it? Yeah.
This is going to be pushing your luck with minuses, just a heads. But yeah, what did
it
you?
Would be like. I just thought it'd be cool to just launching blocks of stone at them. Like if it was just big chunks of mud flying through the air, just making the ground muddy and be just a heavy sack of mud. Just go boosh.
Oki could help by providing the water to make mud.
Yeah.
We can make cement.
My question is, it doesn't just make cement. Cement is not just. That's not what cement is made out of. It's not just wet. It's not just wet soil or wet dirt. That is not how cement works. My question is, Rung, you're seeing all of your companions around you taking stock, listening carefully. You're just gonna stop. Get some mud out there.
Only if it calls for it. If he goes then yeah.
Okay.
But
so
if he doesn't go
okay.
Then nah.
So if I'm interpreting this correctly, if Wan Shi Tong goes that noise,
angry bird noises,
flinging mud at Wan Shi Tong or at the Fire Nation.
No, Fire Nation. Yeah. If Wan Shi Tong looks like he's ready to throw down, like Conor McGregor, then I'm going in with him.
Okay,
but if
what
he's
does
just
an
gonna
owl
say words,
look like when it's about to throw down?
well, their feathers got a really puff. They turn like a big puff bowl, and their face goes like. We got 3 cockatiels. I know what they look like when they're angry.
Is that what you just impersonating Ali?
Yeah, she was like, I could see Ali was just doing the big puff bowl, okay, just that's it. They do those ones at you. They stick the neck out.
And they hiss.
Oh, hiya. Okay. All right. Let's do the next little bit of time, shall we? As this Fire Nation priest steps forward and says his little piece, Wan Shi Tong, we have need of your library. Wan Shi Tong begins clicking his beak and leans down towards this Fire Nation priest.
All who seek knowledge are welcome in my library, but not those who bring weapons or threats of violence. Speak now. What is your purpose? Why have you come here? And maybe I will give you admittance to my library.
The priest sort of leans back and looks up to him and goes, Why? We have need of your histories, your archives. We need to investigate some time, some dates. Will you permit us access to your library, Wan Shi Tong, he who knows 10,000 things? Wan Shi Tong sort of leans back a little bit.
Admittance to my library is under the conditions of no violence. If your men put down their weapons, perhaps I will grant you access. And you will pay for the damages to my door.
The priest sort of looks back and goes, Oh, dear. Seems it was locked and we had no other way to enter. We weren't sure if you would be here. The legends about you are sparse at best. We had to be sure we were going to gain access. I think we can comply. Soldiers, put down your swords and weapons. Firebenders, stand guard out the front. We will be heading deeper into the archives. Wan Shi Tong sort of stands a wing out to block the way as this priest just begins marching into the center of the library. Wan Shi Tong flicks his wing out and blocks the passageway.
I demand a gift. You seek knowledge within this library. You shall gift knowledge to it. Knowledge for knowledge. And each of you shall pay. And you shall pay twice for the damage to my property.
The priest sort of looks a bit taken aback. Legends never spoke of you needing knowledge. Fine. I have here some Fire Nation treatises. I think I can part with some of the copies. And he holds up a number of scrolls. Wan Shi Tong flicks his wing over them, takes his wing back, and then sort of takes a step backwards.
Humans, always fighting, always causing death. Are these plans what you really wish to enact? Is this why you've come to my library? To seek knowledge, ways to hurt, ways to kill, ways to circumnavigate defenses? This is disappointing. Very disappointing.
Will you give us access or not? Wan Shi Tong lowers his wing, steps to the side.
My library is open to all scholars and all who seek knowledge. But even my patience has its limits. You have 1 hour to find the information that you need, and then you will leave. Try not to disturb the other guests in the library with your presence.
The priest sort of looks and goes, Yes, we saw the sand ship outside. I wouldn't have thought those savage sandbenders would have need of your services.
Sandbenders? No. Scholars from other nations come and visit the library to seek knowledge. These 5 seem to be benders of sorts, investigating. 2 Earth Kingdom scholars, some children.
Children, you say? Very interesting. And where did they go?
Some of them went deeper into the catacombs, but I don't see how that's any of your business.
I think we have need to investigate the catacombs first. Come, firebenders with me. And with that, the priest begins moving down the stairs towards the lower section of the catacombs, the soldiers following in his wake.
Question.
Snitch.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Where was the wall plans that I was looking for? Where were they?
The wall plans? They were in the catacombs.
They were in the catacombs? Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're looking to get into that as well. Cool.
After a few moments, the footsteps recede and you see only 2 members of the Fire Nation contingency, 2 firebenders standing guard at the top of the stairs. The rest and the soldiers, so the other firebender and the 4 soldiers, having followed the fire priest down into the catacombs. Wan Shi Tong sort of clicks his beak in annoyance, flaps off the edge, and then drops down the side of the balcony, disappearing from view.
Okay. So, I think if they get the plans in the catacombs, it's a bad thing.
Oh yeah, it's probably the worst case scenario you could ever think of.
Oh, good.
So we need to distract
So like
them for an
the
hour.
end of the Earth Kingdom, that kind of bad.
Well, they only have an hour. Can we play
Beginning
cat
of
and
the
mouse
Earth
with them for that
crater.
one?
No, sorry, Karen.
I do like that idea a lot.
Some sort of
Turn
mud
into
ball.
Nuketown.
I'm going.
Megaton,
I
sorry.
like Oki's idea a lot.
We can let them spot
I like
Marco
this.
or Sherpa,
One by one.
and
I'm
we can, I don't know, just try and lead them throughout the castle
Quick-
so that they get
quick-
distracted.
quick question. The 2 guards out front, they are actually outside the place, right?
No, they've stepped inside and they're now
They've stepped
standing
inside.
inside
Okay.
guarding the inside door.
Okay.
Al approaches you guys from his hiding spot, and he's like, "Hey, who's the 5th bender that that Washington was talking about.
What a piece of shit. I'm gonna give Sherva spirit bending, and she can take away your bending, and you're gonna regret saying that.
Wait, shall I learn how to manipulate you with keys, motherfucker?
I'm gonna make her a key blocker, and you're fucked.
She's gonna take
Al is genuinely ignorant to what happened.
Rung's just gonna be like, Doro, she'll get the spark someday. You got
Actually, yeah,
this, don't worry
Sherva, your
about it.
scroll was on key blocking, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
No.
No.
I wish it was,
Fans.
but
It was
it
the
was
yeah. That's
POC
right. Sorry, you
warrior.
rolled the. Sorry, if you'd rolled a, I think it was a 20. Let me have a quick look. If you'd rolled a 20, you would have had keep blocking. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Hope it helps.
Yeah.
If you rolled a 20, you would have been fucking god. But unfortunately, you rolled a 4, so you eat a big bag of dicks. So no, you Kyoshi warrior style combat is what you saw. Yeah.
Better than mud bending.
So.
One
Yeah, it is
mud bending's
substantially.
cool.
Wan Shi Tong isn't pro-violence, so I don't know if we should like start a fight here. Maybe we should like
Burn their
damage
ship
their
down
ship
so they can't
outside.
leave.
Yeah.
I like Oki's idea of just leading them astray a little bit and keeping them
We don't
busy.
have to start a fight.
Yeah, we don't have
we
to
can
fight. We just have to
we can just
annoy
run.
them and keep
See,
them distracted
the
so they
problem
ran out of
is-
time and get kicked out.
We are also on less time than they are.
How much time do we have left?
But you didn't give us an
I
hour,
wasn't-
did you?
Give us time now.
Wan Shi Tong did not specify how long you guys had.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if we have time or what's happening.
I would
I think
say,
as long as we don't cause trouble.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't overstay.
Isn't
But, like,
isn't
You guys
attacking
got
them causing trouble?
We're not
Well,
going to attack them.
attacking them.
We're going to let them see Mako and Sherva at
And
a
we're gonna
distance,
run away.
and they're going to chase. Oh, yeah, then we're going to try and get them to chase us without starting an actual fight or causing hassle.
Mm.
Sounds foolproof. I like it.
And like just doing like little annoying things, like whenever they pick up a book or something, you could air bend it out of their hands or something like that.
I can make the hallway muddy so their boots get all dirty, and that's inconvenient to them.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we're just-
Lunchiton will like that either because it's
Well,
dirtying his library.
It's just minor inconveniences, and we can clean up after
Yeah.
ourselves immediately after.
I do want
We
to
just we
remember
can't
that,
break anything.
remember Wan Shi Tong said to you, Rung, that your dirty coal fingers couldn't touch any of the paper.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I don't get mud on coal on the paper.
Didn't you already?
Yeah,
Yep.
he did. Yeah, he completely
No.
ruined that scroll. He like drew a smiley face in the corner and like was crossing things out that he didn't think were right. Yeah.
That's not how you earthbend. Meh.
Anyway, I think we should rush down to the archives. Nonetheless, whatever happens, happens.
Alright. Agreed.
Right.
So my question is,
We go down to the catacombs.
are you guys
Is
gonna
that the
go?
plan?
Are you guys
What?
getting out of here, or are you gonna run down, follow them into the catacombs?
Follow, right?
Follow.
Are we able to go down there without the guards at the door seeing us?
No way. They're literally watching this hall, like this open gangway, and then the stairs down from it, literally right in front of them.
Is there
so
not another way for us to get
to where
down?
they are, we have to get past the guards.
There could be another way down deeper inside the library, but the way that they've gone, if you wanted to follow
Is
them,
there a way to
you would-
turn the corner so that like they can't notice if a big owl shows up where we are?
Because it's a whole central empty spire with these gangways crossing. A whole central
Okay.
section is hollow. Technically, yes. If you got round to one of the corners, they would see Wan Shi Tong, but they might not see you. Like a dirty fucking great owl spirit, they're gonna spot.
That's
He's
fair.
massive.
That's fair.
I think he's like 8 meters tall. He's a big boy.
God.
They're gonna see him. His wingspan would be like 20 meters. They're gonna spot him, but they might not spot you.
You guys know what? Wan Shi Tong actually said not to bother the other guests. If we walk past and they start trouble with us, can't Wan Shi Tong kick them out?
True.
Basic, actually true. Shall we then?
Let's just walk.
Let's
Let's do this,
peacefully walk
guys.
past.
You're a genius.
Confidence
Al
is key,
is
right?
genuinely honored by being called a genius.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
guys
but
just gonna
I'll
head down the
be so close.
staircase and then go to leave the library, or go to head down into the catacombs?
Head down.
Head down to the catacombs.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Play some,
Let's go and wander down
play
there.
some Tom and Jerry.
Have a library
Let's-
card.
Let's annoy
Also,
them while they can't annoy
Does that
us.
count as here's the plan?
I
Uh,
thought
I'm
about it.
I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna allow
Is
it.
it worth rolling in case something goes horribly wrong?
Yes.
Like, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What could
Okay,
go
I'll
wrong?
use it as here's the plan.
I think Oki's used it as here's the
Oh,
plan.
no, nice.
8. Yeah, mixed success. So when you have a mixed success for here's the plan, Oki, I believe you get 1. You get to hold 1, or is it hold 2? That is a good
Hold
question.
2.
Hold 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because it's 3 if you nail it. So you get to hold 2. Yeah, yeah.
And nothing goes wrong. Unexpected.
That's not quite how it goes.
No, I mean, like, but nothing is forced to go wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
Question.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't. Your plan doesn't encounter some, and I quote, disastrous opposition right from the start. No. Yeah, so you guys begin walking down the staircase, and as you basically walk out onto this main pathway right in front of them, the 2 Fire Nation soldiers immediately, these firebenders with the masks, stop and immediately hold their hands out, flames conjure in their hands. Stop! Stop right there.
I'll keep walking.
Are you
question
a library?
before we
The Dewey Decimal himself? Sorry, you first.
A moment of balance. Is that a one-time use thing?
So that's a good
I think
question.
we have
So
to get
when
that
you
from
do,
leveling up, don't we?
so a moment of balance is what you get from. Here we go. I'm gonna figure this out.
Sorry,
so you get your,
'cause I just
no,
read
it's okay.
mine.
No, this is good because we're still learning how to play this game. So give me a second. I have to quickly find this bit. So the moment of balance, I think, is. Give me a second. You start at the start of play. Your balance and center are both in the middle of the track. Your moment of balance is a move your character must unlock through advancement before it can be used. Once you've unlocked it, so it's a thing you get through advancement, I believe. Each yes allows you to enter growth box. When you mark a fourth growth box, you advance. Choose one of the options under growth advance. So did you take your moment of balance when you advanced previously?
We haven't advanced yet.
We haven't advanced.
Oh no, that's right. Sorry, I was going to end this session.
Sorry, just said
How you guys
moment
went.
of balance unlocked, so I was just curious what that was.
You
No.
tick the box if it's been unlocked.
Cool. Okay.
So did you want to say anything to them, Marco, as you're walking past?
I'm sorry. What was being said before I asked this
They
question?
told us to stop. I'll just keep
As you
walking.
guys walk out, they go, stop right there.
Good day. We're just visiting the library.
As I walk past, I go, flame you, hot man.
Halt.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
You were told not to disturb other guests, right?
Our orders come from the Fire Lord himself. Stop right
No,
there.
Is that the
don't
man who
think-
knows 10,000 things?
Yeah, is that the man who's currently in charge of where you are right now?
Hmm.
Is that
And
the
is he
person
a
whose
hoot?
roof you're under?
If you keep walking, we will take fire.
Are you
Sorry?
in the Fire Nation right now?
There's sort of a pause as they look at each other. Marco, could you do
Looks pretty sandy.
It's pretty sandy. Could you do I would let you do a plead or a trick an NPC, your choice. Because it kind of falls under both. Or intimidate, actually. I'd allow you to take your choice. Plead, intimidate, or trick.
Wait.
So
Okay,
harmony
thank you.
for plead, passion for intimidate, or creativity for trick. So it's probably more intimidate than trick, actually. Plead or intimidate, your choice. Cool. Mixed success, yeah, 7. Yeah, there's this sort of like pause as they look at you and go, and that was an intimidate, wasn't it? Yeah, there's this pause as they look at you, Marco. You must stop. You must halt, please.
I must halt. I think your threats are empty right here.
Yeah.
It's not a threat.
Seems like you got
Sorry, Karen.
no
Not a
leg to
threat?
stand on much.
You don't like what?
So
Sorry.
we don't
We're
really
just-
have like any legs to stand on. We just got to go. Like
Everyone
down.
just let's keep going.
Yeah.
I was already at the
Just
bottom. I
lie.
kept walking
Yeah.
the whole time.
Feel like if they were guard thing.
Oh, and if you see two like Earth Nation
Children?
scholars, say hi to them for us. We'll be back soon.
Yeah. They're master weaponsmiths. Good luck.
There's this pause as they look at each other. And then the flames burst to life in their hands, and they both push forward, creating this wall of fire on the stairs right in front of where you're walking. You will stop.
Is Al on the other side because he never stopped to talk to them?
Oh,
Can
I'll
I
listen. Yeah,
sweep
if Al never stops, you just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can
so
I
I'm on the
sweep
other
some
side
like
of the fire.
sand over it, just like over the thing to put out like the fire on the ground, just like when you put sand on it?
Yeah, you can.
Just any sand, just like-
I would say you can use some earthbending to kick some sand over it. I'd say that's using your skills and training. Just skills and training.
Just like so nonchalant, like these guys, just saying so annoying, guys. Skills and training. Where to put it? Push luck. Oh, there we go. Bang, bang, bop, bow.
11 for success.
Yay!
Yeah, Rung just walks up, does a little side kick, and earthbends some sand, which immediately quenches the fire. The two soldiers, these firebenders, have got their fists out. Flame's still sort of holding fists, sort of pause a second as they look at each other. Do you guys just keep walking? Just ignore them and keep walking?
Could Oki raise her voice as well and just sort of not like calling out to one she told, but sort of announcing one that he might notice, and her just sort of go, I was fairly aware, I'm fairly certain you were told you're not allowed to engage or bother the other patrons of this good library. Not to mention bringing fire into the library where you could burn a good number of these very sacred scrolls.
Oki, is that a hardcover on fire?
Oki, could you please roll me, I'm going to say your choice of trick or plead. So with either harmony or creativity, your choice.
Definitely creativity.
Definitely creativity. Okay, so trick. This I like this. This is well done. This could
We're gonna
be
tell the
disastrous.
teacher. We're gonna tell the teacher.
Wait. Hey.
Oh.
No, even if I add one, it wouldn't do anything.
Oki, as you're calling out, you pause a second, like so confident you're about to hear a rustle of feathers. But instead what you hear is the sound of boots on the stairs. As you see the other Fire Nation soldiers and the priest now coming up the stairs from the catacombs, having heard Oki's voice calling out into the library. Going, you can't touch us. And they're like, right, okay.
Oh, look, the plan's sort of working.
It's the consequences of my actions.
I mean, it's all still working, right?
So at this point,
still taking
Arl
up
is on
their
the
time.
stairs. Arl is on the stairs. Rung, Oki, Marco, and Sherva, you are on the gangway. The open door to the outside is right in front of you. Arl, in front of you, the Fire Nation priest pushes through the soldiers and steps to the front, just in front of you.
I wondered if we might find you in here when the stupid owl mentioned there were others. I hoped it was going to be you. Right.
Do I know you?
I'm glad you hope for us. What's your name, good priest?
He doesn't seem stupid, I will add. He knows 10,000 things. He's pretty smart.
I think he knows more than that. Don't. It's just a name he's given.
I love you guys just constantly. I love you guys just constantly talking back to these people as such shits. Like, there's no way that could ever backfire. As the priest firebends in your face and you mark 6 for 10.
Worth it.
This like charred skeleton's like.
I will die on this hill.
Jesus Christ. The Fire Nation priest.
I am Fire Priest Chorek, and you are Marco, correct?
Ignoring you, Al, completely.
CH.
Chorek. Chorek.
EK. Okay.
Was he holding anything? Like, he hasn't had time to actually get down to the bottom of the stairs and look at the stuff, right?
No. This is all. They were literally walking down the stairs. As they got onto the bottom floor, I've been keeping track of timing. Oki's like, "You can't touch us," and then someone's upstairs.
The plan is working.
Still
The
working.
plan is working.
If they're ignoring
Stop.
Al's just going
Stop.
to try and walk further down to the other side of them. To their backs.
The second you get closer to the priest, a spear is suddenly against your throat as one of the fire soldiers drops this spear down against you that they had been concealing within their cloaks. 2 handles join together.
Oh my
Straight down.
god, a spear? In the
weapon?
library?
I thought
You
you
were
were
told to leave your weapons at
I
the
thought you were told to disarm.
Shiva, as you say that, one of the firebenders on the top floor, the priest sort of clicks his fingers, and one of the firebenders on the top floor holds his fist against you, this flame dagger coming out of his hands.
I suggest you keep your mouth shut, bodyguard, lest I burn and melt your lips together.
Now, let me
Burn
just
out
get
your
this
tongue.
straight. Who has more to lose right now? Us or you?
You have so much more to lose than you could possibly realize. Why did you flee the estate? What happened?
What happened? Don't you know?
We were told to investigate the lodestone. Next, I get reports of 5 fugitives on the run, 2 of my own nation, shaming us.
We're fugitives now, guys? Didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's
Do we
a
have a
fugitive?
Oh god, we'll have to describe that later.
The whole
It's
Earth
like a
Kingdom
free
is looking
person.
for you. You are
I
being
don't
held
believe we're
responsible.
fugitives. We were kidnapped.
We're
So that's like a
kidnapped.
nomad. So nomad's a
Like, are you
fugitive.
going to
Yes.
take us home?
Like yeah.
Unbelievable. You're not even
Like
going
a
to take
Dai Li.
credits for the murders you committed there.
We committed murders?
Disgusting.
What?
All I remember, actually,
Wait, did we kill
No.
people?
no, that was the giant earthworm.
I like to think that Sherva actually is saying this.
Yeah, I am.
Did we kill people?
We,
I don't remember doing that.
No, no, no,
The
no.
earthworm.
There
I
were
remember-
accidents on the way.
I only remember the earthworm killing people.
The
Wait,
Dai
you
Li have
genuinely
posted
think 5
reports.
kids went around killing people? You genuinely believe that?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
we're very strong, of course. It's
The
easy
Dai
to do.
Li,
But
the
we
Dai
wouldn't.
Li have posted reports throughout all 4 nations. The 5 of you are responsible for the disruption of this peace
Okay,
summit.
Okay,
The death of a
question.
number of the members.
Question.
But you know the Dai Li suck, right?
Yeah,
So,
look at us. We're trash talking you.
you mean
you-
a whole garrison of Fire Nation soldiers, a whole garrison of Dai Li. You think we beat them?
Oh no, the Dai Li attacked the Fire Nation, that much is clear. But it was
Okay, cool.
instilled and instigated by your actions.
Actually,
You
Yeah,
stole
this dude
plans
told
from the
them to
Dai
take
Li.
over
oh yeah,
One
Would you-
Nation and all
Would
that.
you believe, like,
Skid.
a brand new teacher if she was like, my children overrun my entire, like, first class elementary?
I don't believe for a second
Would
you're
you honestly
responsible for
believe
the-
that?
I don't believe you did it with your own hands. I'm telling you that your stupidity, your irresponsibility, instilling
don't
those
I would
plans from
believe
the
the
Dai Li.
stupidity. Have you met Al?
yeah.
Hi.
I don't remember doing anything.
I look forward to the
I'm
day
Al.
when your people are nothing but ash and dust.
That will never
Give
happen.
it 20
Terrible
years.
thing to say.
What? Yeah, awful.
What an odd
Um,
person.
Really
your
rude, you know?
irresponsibility in
I don't
stealing
remember-
the plans from the Dai Li
Oh,
started the
yeah.
conflict. You were seen by a number of the Dai Li with the plans, including our own soldiers. General Zhao himself.
Yeah,
has
you mean the
ordered
plans
for your
that-
execution.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Plans
Wait.
Zhao just handed to 2 children.
Yeah, you
General
mean the
Zhao
plans?
is a decorated war hero.
Mhm.
He would never do
Yeah,
such
and
a
he-
thing.
He
Never
handed
do
top
such a
secret plans to 2 children.
I find that highly unlikely.
Do you want me to describe the plans that he told us about?
How did we steal plans?
We didn't steal them.
We didn't steal
How
them.
They
did
were
you-
given to us.
They were like just handed to us on a plate. They were
How-
like,
And
"We have-"
Zhao was like, "Hey, check this out. Can you figure out how to break into Ba Sing Se?"
You
And we're
really
The
like,
alternative
expect me
His
to
2
believe-
children stole the plans from your General Zhao, your decorated war hero.
No,
What? He can't
not from
protect
General
the
Zhao. These
document.
were the Dai Li. These children could do nothing against our soldiers, but the incompetent Dai Li, I would believe easily that they were able to
You mean
take
the
them
ones
from
that
them.
kidnapped us?
Wait, we stole something from the
Kidnapped you.
Dai Li? The Dai
What
Li tried
lies
to
is
steal
this?
us.
Yeah, like they came from the walls,
Not the ceiling.
not the
Oh.
ceiling. Don't
Not the
don't
ceiling.
get me
That's
started
something
on
that
them.
no one could
coming through
describe
from the
about an
ceiling.
earthbender. No one could possibly make up a story about earthbenders coming from the walls. How convincing. You're criminals, all of you.
Oh,
That
okay,
moment-
good to know. That's
At that moment,
where
there's
we
been
stand,
enough
right?
time and enough shouting and going on that the rustle of feathers emerges.
Teacher.
Up from the depths, the large dark
Yes.
form of Dai Li, the large dark form of Wan Shi Tong swoops through the Undercroft landing on
The
the
Dai Li.
bridge,
Good
pulling
morning,
his
Mr.
wings
Wan
close,
Shi
puffing them
Tong.
out. You see Wan Shi Tong's neck begin stretching forwards, his beak clicking, eyes filled with anger. As he looks down upon all of you, there's this pause and silence. The priest is the first to try and speak.
Wan Shi Tong, please forgive our zealousness, but these criminals must be stopped.
And he reaches in to his robes and pulls out a wanted poster. On the wanted poster are very crude drawings of each of your faces, but more importantly, your names. And it's wanted in connection with the disruption of the Peace Summit, the Ba Sing Se Peace Summit, and involvement in the murder of the Fire Nation ambassador.
Wan Shi Tong. I have a few points I need to bring up for this because I feel like it's very important.
Idiot.
One, yes, that's one of my points, but I'm not taking up too many. Thank you for
I'm
putting
sorry.
that one out there. He lit fire to the ground.
Ambassador Rocco's dad?
Yes.
That guy there, he lit fire on the ground. I put it out because I was about to burn some books. You can see the sand on there. Two, he's got like a spear. He's got a knife in his
Chattering
hand.
monkeys, quiet.
We all
Step
evolved from the
away.
same goo, funny hat, chef. I am not done my
spirit.
points yet.
I have nothing to do with your kind. Step away from each other, two groups separated. Children to one side, Fire Nation priests and soldiers to the other. I will get to the bottom of this,
I start
We will
walking
learn
over
the
to the Fire
truth.
Nation side.
of what happened.
What was that? Sorry, Sheva, did you go to the
Tong.
Foundation side?
I start walking over to the Fire Nation side. I'm a soldier.
Do you? Okay. Yeah, you walk over to the Foundation side?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
No.
Okay. That would have been good to know. That would have been good to know.
3 betrayals.
That would have been
Oh,
good to
wow,
know.
that was really easy to do.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared. Like the guy was holding a flame dagger to my neck. Like.
Oh no! As soon as Wan Shi Tong's appeared, like flames just go out. As he shits his pants. on the wall.
Was the spear still pointed at me?
The spear immediately disappears as the sound of Wan Shi Tong's wings is heard through the cavern, and suddenly they're unarmed once again. Yeah, the priest and his soldiers step up the steps and move to one side of the gangway on the left-hand side of the door, and you guys, Wan Shi Tong, with a wave of his wings, gestures you to the right.
Yep.
He looks towards the 5 of you first.
I would hear it from your mouths first. Tell me, is there any truth to what this man says about you? I can see this poster as you painted as criminals, wanted for violence, dissonance, unrest, and murder. What say you?
Can I look at the painting, the picture?
It's terrible. It looks like someone has tried to. So the ones of Marco and Sherva are the best by far. They're the most accurate. But it kind of looks like when the Fire Nation got to having to make wanted posters for the Air Nomad, the Earth Kingdom, and the Water Tribe, they just went for the best stereotypes they could. So like Oki has the ringlets, absolutely, but she's wearing like a polar bear fox fur. Like she's actually dressed in like full furs. Rung,
She's dressed in Bolto.
Yeah, dressed in Bolto. Rung, you've got no clothes. You're literally wearing a loincloth and you've just got massive muscles and your head's like sunken into your shoulders. And Al, you're like this skinny, very sort of skinny, lithe airbender. And you've got like a butterfly on your finger and you look like you're completely distracted, not paying attention to anything that's going on.
Any facial hair?
Any facial hair? No facial hair. You're completely...
Al is very upset.
They probably got Rung's nose wrong as well. Like
he doesn't have one in the picture.
Trying to make
It's
it
like-
mangled note.
It's like
neck.
there's no neck. It's just your biceps, triceps, and then your face.
you
Oh,
just
what's
your
that?
Like a
thumb.
Diglett.
Yeah, I was just
It's
going
like
to
a
say a Diglett.
He's a Diglett. Yeah, you've been asked a direct question. Whoever wants to speak up.
Well, so line art was all wrong in all of these things here.
There
Why does
might
Marco
be-
only look good?
Guys,
There might be heat emitting from my fist right now.
Ooh,
okay, you need to calm down. Okay, we will start from the beginning. We went to the Peace Summit. We are delegates' children, minus me.
So Peace
I was
Summit?
just an extra. What?
Al
I thought you
giggles.
said we went to the Peace Summit. I'm like, what?
Peace Summit. You are given, Wan Shi Tong gives you the most unbelievable death stare, Rung. As he stares at you, I'm just gonna quickly, can you roll for me? Can you roll for me? He's going to intimidate you with this. So can you please? Actually, no. Sorry, he just gets to do it because he's an NPC. You are scared of this thing. this owl, this spirit, as you look into his eyes, you see infinity staring back at you. This creature is older than the stones that you bend. This creature has seen mountains rise and fall, empires and nations crumble to dust. He is terrifying to you in this brief moment as you look into his eyes. Your sass gets shoved back up your ass.
I'm clenching on the spot right now. Every orifice clenched.
His head just disappears into his chest like a picture. Like a turtle.
The line works all wrong. Then I'm like,
Yeah. Wan Shi Tong looks towards Sherva and Marco. Marco, because there's smoke rising from your fists, and Sherva, because you put a hand on Marco and are like, calm down, Marco.
Okay. I will try to remember what happened. So from the beginning, we are all delegates' children. Minus me, I am his bodyguard. So we have no reason to disturb this peace summit. We were there in peace, the same as our parents. 2, why would we be involved in the murder of Marco's dad, who is my employer, and who my family has been sworn to protect for generations? And 3, the Dai Li abducted us and removed us from the peace summit before any fights broke out or anything happened. So we don't actually know what happened there. So I can't speak on any of that. The Dai Li might be dead. The Fire Nation might be dead. We don't know. We were taken. Yes, Marco?
He doesn't want to say. Go on, say it. He's going to breathe into his mic really loudly. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that was... Sorry. That was
Everyone
me
who
thinking.
listens to this is now just like eardrums bleeding.
Sorry.
Some free ASMR from Marco for you. ASMR Marco.
But I am so...
you're
like,
welcome.
I don't know how to react. All I know, for a fact, is the crimes that we've been committed of were committed by the Fire Nation themselves, higher members than me. Then the Fire Nation was preparing to storm the what is it? The Peace Summit. For one reason or another, I do not know. The Dai Li kidnapped us in order as bargaining chips and tools for later on use. Before we were saved. Then we got taken into like the sandstorm, then like a giant worm attacked us, yada yada yada. Now we're here.
So what you're telling me is that humans sought violence against other humans,
Yes.
attacked other humans,
Yes.
attacked
And then-
you, kidnapped you, dragged you into the desert.
They called us
and you know
hostages.
nothing.
And then the Fire Nation probably won the battle, so they probably wanted someone to pin this on, and they pinned it on us because we weren't present.
And
Assumed
these
we were probably
plans they
lost
speak
or
of,
dead. Yes.
did you have them in your possession?
Right now?
Did you have them
Oh,
in your
did we?
possession?
Yes.
And how did you acquire them? Did you steal them from the
No,
Dai Li?
we were given to them from General Zhao. He was going on about this great plan he had. He wanted to, what was it?
Penetrate the walls of
That's
Barking
it.
Bay
That's it.
with a giant metal.
He was like, how do you think we do this? And he's like, we don't know. We were like, we don't know. He was like, we don't know. And then he was like, well,
Can I add?
All
What,
you
what?
humans do is fight and bicker and war. You never use knowledge for betterment. It's to
That
put
is-
others down and hurt them, even children.
Yeah, that guy. Gestures to all the Fire Nation.
The priest who cannot read the room chooses this moment to speak up. Seeing Wan Shi Tong sort of fall silent and no longer questioning you, goes,
Yes, and they stole it from the Dai Li, and then they triggered this awful conflict, and now we have to find a way to fight back against these Earth Kingdom fucks, and unless we're going to be able to Get through the walls. We need a way. Protection. The best defense is a good offense.
At that moment, Wan Shi Tong sort of flicks his head around, very snake-like. His neck is now extended to almost 2 meters long, talons growing even sharper. You watch as his body begins to transform in front of you, claws growing out of his wings at the joints like a bat has, long tail growing out with spines along it, and his eyes turn completely yellow and start moving and stretching down the side of his head, elongating as he flicks around towards the Fire Nation priest. Yeah, sleep tight, everybody. As he turns on the Fire Nation priest.
Get out!
But we haven't found what we needed.
I said get out!
And with that, Wan Shi Tong whips his wings together. Air begins pushing against you as you find yourselves being blasted out the doors, everyone in the library being pushed. I'm going to need all of you to push your luck to avoid being thrown tumbling backwards. I shouldn't say push your luck, but how would you like to deal with this? Because actually, I shouldn't specify which role you want to take. You tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you which one it falls under. As this strong gust of wind pushes you, you feel yourselves being lifted off the floor and thrown tumbling. It's as if gravity is no longer holding you in place. What is down is now slightly up, and what is behind you is now down as you are being basically falling down the corridor out of the library.
Would I slam my foot in the ground to put up just a wall behind us to sort of like hold us back, like if you're like falling back into like a roller coaster, like just something to stop us that way?
Slamming your foot into the ground is tricky given that you're sort of falling backwards, but I could say that you could try and like hold your hand up, like punch up and try and summon a wall.
Oh yeah,
to try and do that. Yeah. And are you trying to do this inside the library or outside the library?
See if I can do this inside the library just to not go flying out of it. Like, see if I can do it behind us, to like, if we're like in a group next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say wall, do you mean like half, like a dome, like just something like a mitt to catch us, right?
Something like not very like complex, but something you just do in the moment. If you're like, oh, cross. Do
Just
that.
something to
Try and,
smash
put something
into
up.
with your body as you fall. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, try and do it behind us.
That is going to be a push your luck as you try and like earthbend this wall as you're falling and tumbling head over heels. Before you roll that, Marco, Shurva, Al, Oki, I want to know what each of you are doing, and then we'll do your rolls. We're going to kind of treat this as almost like a little combat moment because you are kind of in a bit of combat.
Could Oki try to freeze, like, as she feels the gust of wind picking up, could she try to freeze her feet to the floor?
As in, like, pull the water from your canteen, push it down and freeze to the floor?
Yeah, essentially, like, just try and attach yourself, like...
Definitely going to be a push your luck. Absolutely.
Is the door open?
The door's open.
Okay, the door did open.
Smashed open.
They smashed it open.
Oh, so
How wide is
not
the
just
door?
like a whole door. Okay.
The door is, so it's 8 meters... No, so it's 10 meters high. So the door is going to be about sort of 6-7 meters wide.
It's very wide. It's very wide.
Big.
A wide door.
And what kind of surface are we on? Like, is it like
Stone.
bricks? Stone. Yeah.
Stone slabs cut into intricate tile formations. So, Oki, that'll be your thing. I'll Marco Shurva. Oh, I've just seen what you posted, Bree. Do you want to read that out loud? That's really cool. That's really relevant. That's awesome.
Okay. In ancient China, 10,000 was essentially equivalent to infinite or uncountable. So when Wan Shi Tong introduces himself as he who knows 10,000 things, he is actually saying that he has infinite knowledge.
Amazing. That's really cool.
And I actually have something to add to that.
Go
One means 10,000, Shi means things, and Tong means through, as in pass through.
There you
1,000 things pass through
Nice.
is his name.
That's really cool.
Oh.
That's really, really
Nerd.
Respect.
Yeah.
Based on like what I do is kind of dependent on what ends up happening as with what Rung does.
Yes.
If his
Okay.
wall like stops us,
Yep.
then I don't really do much. I just brace myself against the wall and try to catch Mako
Okay.
so he doesn't
And
hit
if
it
it
too
doesn't
hard.
work,
But if it doesn't work, I would like to rely on my skills and training as a combat. Learned combat my entire life, so I would be
Yeah.
able to basically skillfully tumble so as to not injure myself in any way and be able to catch myself kind of like on all fours if you know what I mean. Like once the
Yeah,
wind has
okay.
like dissipated. Like
So rather than
I'll
fighting
still
to
get,
try
like,
and roll with
thrown.
it, yeah,
but like
try
I'll
and roll
be
with it and
able
reduce
to
the damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep those in mind. I'll let you know what happens when we know what happens with Rung's thing. Marco.
Yeah.
I want to use small fire blasts if I can, just to correct my course.
Okay.
And reduce the
Definitely
damage.
Your luck as you try
Yeah.
and because you've never done this before.
Oh no,
Amazing.
never.
And Al.
Yeah, I think Al's just gonna try and because they're being pushed back, he's gonna try and make himself as flat as possible to reduce the air going through him.
Okay.
He knows all about air resistance.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
And failing that, he wants to use airbending to push air, so he's not going through the door. If that makes sense,
Okay.
to direct himself to the wall next to. I'm assuming the door is between two walls, right?
Yes,
So
it is. Yeah.
he's going to try and push himself there. If he sees a wall get shoved up behind him, he'd like to use airbending to try and just soften the blow for everyone being thrown against it.
Okay. Absolutely. For everyone, okay, then that's going to be. I'd still say that's skills and training because all you're trying to do is just create a bit of an air cushion. That's pretty basic airbending. So I'd say that's okay. So we're going to do this in order because things happen in order. Oki, you're the first one to react. As you push down and try and freeze yourself to the floor, could you please do a push your luck roll for me?
Uh-oh, where's the tab gone? There it is.
10. Oki, you are frozen to the floor and immediately spin backwards as the ice begins sort of cracking around your feet and groaning, but you are still frozen to the floor at this point. Next is Rung with his war, because that's the next thing that triggers as all of you are doing your things. Rung, push your luck, please.
Pushing on my luck, baby. Huh?
Oh boy. Rung, as you go to lift up this wall, you kind of mistime it, and instead of putting the wall up behind you, you put it up behind the Fire Nation soldiers. You kind of mistime it. It comes out of one of the walls, and they crash into it and begin rolling over the top of it. As you see the Fire Nation soldiers begin sort of throwing off. The priest, however, grabs onto the wall and is holding in place. Al, you would be next with your cushioning. Do you want to roll me a skills and training?
It wouldn't be the cushioning because the wall.
Oh, sorry, there's no
right?
wall. Sorry, that's
So,
right.
This is me trying to go as
Just going.
efficient to avoid and then directing myself.
Still going to be skills and training, I'd say, for you.
Cool.
I am Wan Shi Tong, he who knows infinite
Looked up
things.
skills and training.
Oh, he
Do you
learned
know the
more.
exact time, place, and date of your death?
I'm sorry if that dude dies. I'm terrified.
He's a head that never stops screaming.
Look at my eyes.
10. Al, you just go into this missile and begin flying with the flow of air. Because your airbending training tells you to move with the air, to become one with the air, to release your attachments and to just go with the flow. And so you do. You just start spinning around and you head out like a missile out into the sandy areas outside.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to airbend towards Wan Shi Tong.
Oh, okay. Trying to resist it. So try and jump forwards and resist an airbend towards.
Yeah. As opposed to so the slipstream of the air coming towards me.
In that case, as you whip up, so as you're already flying back when Rung tries to conjure this wall and fails. Seeing Rung fail, you do a little flip in the air and begin airbending behind you to push yourself forwards, almost like you were gliding. You come up rolling and are next to Oki. You're basically just behind Oki at this point, holding onto the back of her, keeping yourself in place. As Oki's going backwards with her arms flailing in the air, looking like one of those inflatable things outside car dealerships. The inflatable, what are they called?
Wacky.
Inflatable wavy arm advertising droids.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dave did a pretty good impression of one just then. If you're a podcast listener, now's the best time to get into watching it because you can watch Dave do one of those things live on camera.
I flail a lot.
So Al, you're right behind Oki at this point, clinging behind her as she's whipping backwards in the wind with no real control of her upper body, but frozen to the floor. Amazing, yeah, Rung, you're just flying backwards at this point, Rung. Sherva, you'd be the next one to go off. You're just going to try and roll with it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to roll me with skills and training? And Marco, what was your thing again? You were going to
Just correct myself so I don't fall too hard.
blast of fire. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to need to push your luck, please.
Really? No way.
It's going to be a push your luck. Sorry. Yeah, crazy, I know. Get out of my library. 7.
I thought he
from
died.
7 from Marco, 8 from Sherva. So mixed successes for both of you. That's not too bad. Sherva, as you're ducking and rolling, Marco, you're kind of like trying to firebend at precise moments. You get the sense that you survive and are able to sort of correct a little bit, not through any actual skill or ability, just pure luck. As you're tumbling, you're just like, firebend, and it just so happens that those moments correlate with your tumbling and rolling, and you are able to compensate. So as the 3 of you, Rung, Marco, and Sherva, are thrown out the door, Al and Oki, you're not going to take any fatigues, you're not going to take any conditions. Rung, Marco, and Sherva, each of you is going to mark 1 fatigue, because you each had... Oh, no, sorry, no. Marco and Sherva, you both had partial successes. You guys only mark 1 fatigue. Rung, you mark 1 fatigue, and I need you to mark a condition. And that condition, I think, is going to be insecure.
Yeah,
In your
I'll take that.
earthbending.
I just seen all my insecurities in that dude's eyeballs and then just stuffed up my wall. Sounds fair.
Sorry, yeah, I think that's the most... Let me have a quick peekaroo, but I think that is the most appropriate...
It gives -2 to relying on skills and training and things like that, so... You'd be like questioning your abilities a lot.
I think insecure makes sense, doesn't it? Guilty, no. Foolish, maybe. Afraid and angry. I thought afraid, maybe, but then for this bit, I think insecure at your earthbending, because so far you've been a pretty good earthbender, and this is just a wall. Like, this isn't that hard. No.
Couldn't even time it.
Amazing.
All that mud.
It's okay, you probably like broke a couple of bones of the fire benders. They just slammed into your wall.
Yeah.
Some concussions happening over there.
Rung, Marco,
don't
and
kill
Sherva,
people
you guys,
directly.
I just killed them with walls of stone. Rung, Marco, and Sherva, you guys are now outside the library. As you're flying backwards, you notice the sandstorm behind you is now beginning to close in on the library, getting closer and closer. 2 of the Fire Nation soldiers who did not catch themselves at all, so these are soldiers, not firebenders. All you hear as you sort of stand up, Sherva and Marco getting to their feet much quicker, all you hear is this, "Wah!" as they are sucked into the storm and thrown into the air and just disappear. They're just gone as the last remaining, as the 2 firebenders and the 2 fire soldiers are both there looking like, wait, what? The priest and another firebender are still inside the library. Si Tong, seeing some of you are still inside his library, grows even more furious. You hear this strange grinding and shaking, and as Si Tong lifts back and screeches, you feel this strange pulse emanate from him, followed by another gust of wind which strikes at you, cracking the ice at your feet, Oki. Oki and Al, you 2 are still inside. What are you doing at this point?
Running. Turning tail and running and shouting in hopes that our... shouting one to that, but also to our scholar friends.
That you haven't seen them.
She's just shouting, we've been kicked out! And she's just sprinting. If she can catch Al or anyone like that's part of her group, because I may have partially forgotten. But if she can pick up anyone and keep running along the way, she's like gonna try and grab Al by the arm and just fucking leg it.
Al's trying to stay in there. Al's yelling to Si Tong, "We're charged with making sure those other 2 are safe. We just want to make sure they're safe."
Al, you don't get the impression Si Tong can hear you at this point. Okay, you grab Al. Are you going to try and drag him out against his will?
Not against his will. Like, if he's, not running with her, that, if she gets the gist that he'll take a couple of steps with her, then she totally will just try and give him that boost.
Al is going to... I don't know if I should, but let's try this because it's a mechanic we haven't done, really. Okay. I want to call Oki out on a principle, because we both have the principle of loyalty.
Ooh. Okay.
And I feel like we should be loyal to me and Lee where we can instead of running away without them.
Actually, very true.
Yeah. No. I love it. I think.
All right, do it.
So when you openly call on someone
Yeah.
to live up to their principle, shift your balance away from the center, then name and roll with their principle.
So you're calling her out on loyalty, so you shift your balance towards loyalty.
Yep, and luckily I can do that, because what would happen if I wasn't a bold? I just have to shift one direction?
We'd pick which one we think
Yep,
sounds
okay.
the most thematic or close to what you're calling her out on. And then, roll with your principle. So you can roll.
It's a +1, so I just do a roll on Thingo with...
I believe you can roll if you click on...
balance, loyalty...
I think it's call someone out. There's actually, on the balance moves, there's a call someone out. You actually roll that dice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It'll ask me which one does it? No, I just have to type in +1.
Yep. I think we'll find out in a second.
Yep. That is a 9.
Yeah, two
2d6
4s plus
plus
1. Absolutely. Oki, your worldview is challenged. You are called out. You have to do what Al says, or you're going to be marking a condition.
Okay, she's gonna stick with Al, and she has been midway through running out. She stops midway through, does a pivot, and just puts her hands up to Wunchy Tongue and is like, I don't want to oppose you. I'm not here to try and fight you. I don't want to start a fight. We do have 2 people in there, and if we leave them here, they will die. And we can't let that happen.
Actually,
Al's
I read that
waving on
wrong.
this one.
Sorry, you don't mark a condition, Oki, and you don't have to do what he says. On a 7 to 9, sorry, I read it as a 10,
Okay.
but it's on a 7 to 9, you can actually challenge Al back. So you can either mark a fatigue, you can make Al mark a fatigue, or you can shift Al's balance. So Al can choose to let you mark a fatigue, or to shift his balance in one way or the other. So you can shift Al's balance away from loyalty to get him to run away with you, if you want to.
No, I think she's gonna stand with
Okay.
what Al wants. Like,
Alright,
she's
in
like,
that
no,
case-
you're absolutely right. I shouldn't be a stinking ass coward and stick with these people who have trusted us to get them all the way out here.
Alrighty, Al, you're going to mark a fatigue.
Okay. I want to say that Al is next to Oki doing the same thing, and then he prostrates himself because it's aerodynamic, and it's also a sign of respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oki does the same thing. So does Balto.
Okay. Marco, Sherva, and Rung. The 3 of you are outside. The Fire Nation soldiers, the 2 firebenders, the 2 firebenders who are outside of the 2 Fire Nation soldiers, the 2 firebenders begin running back towards to try and rescue the priest who's clinging onto this rock wall that Rung's created. With this second gust of wind, the firebender and the fire priest lose their grip and go flying backwards. The priest and the firebender, because the wall of sand has moved in and they were held on and then blown back and they both failed, they go straight into the wall of sand, disappear. The Fire Nation soldiers immediately sort of turn and pause and look up at the sandstorm and begin running around the side of the temple towards a giant metal vehicle covered in plating on all sides.
Oh, we need to get to that. Go after them, try and stop them. Is it just 2 Fire Nation soldiers?
2 Fire Nation soldiers, 2 firebenders.
And it's just 2 of us here now?
You, Marco, and Sherva. 3 of you. I mean, 2 benders,
Alright.
so I guess, only 2 of you.
I say, we need
You really
that.
have a death sentence.
Sorry,
We need
Sherva.
that tank. As I'm getting ready to launch a rocket at one of them to try and pin them to the ground. As run towards it.
You focus on getting our ship operational as a last chance, and I just book it for them.
How far in front of us are they at this point?
At this point, they're only 5 meters ahead of you.
Okay, I start running towards them and I whip my whip out and grab one of them around the ankle.
Yeah, so skills and training for Sherva, skills and training for Rung and Marco.
And
what are
I'm
you
gonna
doing as you run
strike.
towards them? Absolutely. So yeah. So let's jump into combat. So the NPCs have already chosen what they're doing. We're going to jump into some combat, baby. So
Nice, Sherva.
basically what you do is you pick whether you're going to defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe. Sherva, Rung, Marco, all of you are advancing and attacking. I think that's pretty clear to say as you run after them and begin throwing shit at them. So roll with passion in that case, which I believe you've already done. Your skills and
Was
training,
I-
is that passion? I might have told you to roll
Skills
some
and
training
training.
too soon. Sorry.
No, I haven't rolled yet.
That's
If
okay.
you're
No, it's okay.
focused.
That's okay because we can still take that roll and just add whatever your focus is. So what's your focus?
I haven't
Shiva?
rolled yet. Would you?
So my
Shiva.
focus is 1 and my passion is 1, so it would be
Oh,
the
so it's
same.
exactly the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine.
Oh, is it with?
So, Rung, would you like to roll with passion as well to do a advanced attack?
Yep.
Yep, yep, yep.
Passione.
I need to bring up that cheat sheet.
Okay, so 10 for Shurva, 9 for Marco, 9 for Rung. So Rung and Marco, you guys get to pick one basic move or one mastered technique. Shurva, you can use one practice technique, you can use 2 basic or mastered techniques, or you can mark a fatigue and use one of your learned techniques. We haven't really got too much into the practiced and learned techniques, so basically you get 2 basic techniques essentially.
Okay.
So you get to do 2 things. So in the advanced attack, you can strike. You can do 2 strikes. You could do a pressure and a strike. You do a smash and a strike. So you get to do 2 of those basic techniques.
Okay.
So we'll do you first, as you basically run up and just whip your whip forwards, which does kind of sound like a strike.
Yeah, I would say that it'd more be a strike than
Yep.
anything else.
So you can strike them to force them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their balance away from their choice, from the center of their choice. You can also mark a fatigue to hammer them, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, or strike with their weak, inflicting a condition.
I want to give them 2 fatigue.
Okay. Yep.
So I mark 1 fatigue.
Yep. So you mark 1 fatigue to force them to mark 2 fatigue. Yep. And so the one you're striking is one of the soldiers who sort of has his spear sort of dropping out. As you whip forwards, you strike him and you hear him cry out in alarm. But nothing else happens from that. Did you want to do another strike?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a normal strike, or did you want to mark
Just
another
a normal one,
just
yeah.
Normal strike?
So like
Same guy.
as he like falls down, I just like kick him in the guts.
Oh, amazing. Okay. I think we need to put on some battle music for a start. Sorry. Ready? There we go. I think this is appropriate. Yeah, as you rush up and kick him in the guts, you knock him out. As you kick him in, he sort of, his spit sort of fly out of his mouth. His eyes roll into the back of his head. He is unconscious. You've taken out one of the soldiers just by yourself in that single strike.
Nice.
Rung and Marco. Rung and Marco, what are you guys doing? We'll do Rung first. What's your basic move?
Go up to him. It's going to be strike, and then I just want to fatigue, like just bring him down as quick as I can. So that'll be strike. Be the best way to do it, I imagine.
So you'll mark a fatigue and so you'll mark 1 fatigue and force them to take 2 fatigue.
I think that'll be the way to do it. I'll take that risk.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yep.
I'm just reading this here. It says, so strike a foe in reach, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their bounce away from center. Their choice. Oh, that's so you're forcing them to take the fatigue. That's where the benefit of marking the 1 fatigue is, that you force them to take the fatigue rather than letting them pick which one they want to take. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The one that you're striking
Force
at, Rung, you striking at, there's two firebenders, and there's 1 soldier left. Who are you striking at?
For the soldier, I would say I'm just trying to take him out.
Trying to knock out the soldiers first, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You blast forward this chunk of rock, which hits him in the back of the thigh, causing him to stumble forwards, but he continues running towards the ironclad vehicle. Alrighty, and Marco.
I'm gonna follow up Rung's attacks with just a fire blast at the soldier.
Soldier as well? Absolutely.
Yep.
Are you going to mark 2 fatigue to force him to mark 2
Nope.
Sorry, are you going to
I'm
mark
just
fatigue
gonna-
to just normal strike?
Just normal strike.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if he takes the condition or the fatigue, he's still out. So he takes the fatigue and then has to take the condition and go. He just, as the fire blossoms against the back of his neck and chest against his back, pushing him forwards, he just face plants into the sand and skids forwards a few meters, just unconscious, sand kicking up behind him. His legs sort of flick up and then drop back down into the sand. The 2 firebenders who are running out in front immediately spin back around, and they are going to Yeah, they're striking as well, sorry. 2 blasts of flame fire back at each of you. Marco, I need you to mark 2 fatigue, a condition, or shift your balance away from center, your choice. And Rung, exactly the same.
Oh, that's towards center. God damn it.
How much
Stay
was
away
it?
from center.
Was it 2 fatigue?
2
Was it,
fatigue,
or-
a condition, or shift your balance away from center.
It's going to be a... Ooh. What happens if I shift my balance from center? How bad is that?
It's not necessarily bad.
It's not too
So
bad.
I can just shift my balance from center, like just move it just a little bit to the side.
Just
So
a
taking fatigue,
smidgen.
give
I
it a little,
took a condition, by the way.
getting a little bit conditioned here. I might just shift the balance. How bad could it be? Let's go a little bit negative. I'm guessing negative has to be. Just
It's
negative.
You don't
negative
want
balance.
to be. So if you go all the way down the balance track, you lose balance and things start to happen to you.
What if I just go just like -1 balance? Just do that.
That's
So
fine.
taking fatigue.
Just means
or
that if
thing.
you roll
This
with
one?
any of your, so like how Andrew did before, had to roll with his principal. You just have a -1 instead of a +1.
Oh, good. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So it's not necessarily bad, but it's also not necessarily good.
So it happens.
Alrighty.
I did that.
So, Al and Oki, we're going to jump into the inside with you guys. Yeah. Wan Shi Tong, seeing you are still inside his library, this awful screech begins ringing through the halls, and you watch as this dark blue light begins spreading out from his chest out towards the edges of the library. Oki and Al, as it begins basically like impacting with your hands, I was assuming at this point, like Al sort of pointing inside the library. Al, as it impacts with your hands, you see your finger begin to turn translucent and spirit-like.
The fish.
The fish!
Al,
being,
Oki,
being an
this blue wall
airbender,
is advancing towards you quite quickly.
is there any way around it, or is like I'm imagining a screen that's like pushing against?
It's emanating in a sphere out from him, filling up the library. And actually, Al, you've got the tattoos. Al, as it touches your skin, your tattoos begin to glow.
It's the Avatar.
Not quite.
Our friends are still in there.
Master, what's she done? What's she done? We come in peace. For
We
knowledge.
just need to save our friends. We
All
can't leave them behind.
Oki, I'm taking it that you're helping Al. Al, would you like to plead with an NPC?
What's the help action? Is it just like a +1?
It's +1. Or is it +2? Could be +2. I believe it's +1, but let me see.
That's a 12 anyway. That's a double 6. That's a
Help is
crit?
+1.
That's a 13.
Okay. Oki, mark 1 fatigue for helping.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I think this is the first double 6 of the campaign, right?
Yeah, 13. Critical success. As you cry this out, Wan Shi Tong sort of flicks his head back down, looking at you, and some of the anger goes out of his eyes, just for a moment.
I will purge all the humans from my library. I hope you survive in the spirit wilds, Airbender.
I want to apologize before you do on behalf of the humans that came in. They disrespected your home, and that was not right. And I can't make it any better or right, but I am very sorry that happened to your refuge of knowledge.
The sphere of energy begins slowing, and then begins pulling back inside of his chest. He begins taking on more of the owl-like appearance, the neck sort of moving back towards the head, this monstrous form starting to shift and change.
Perhaps I lost my temper. It seems that humans are not the only ones capable of violence. I will send my foxes to go and retrieve your friends. But leave this place at once. You have 5 minutes. Your friends will meet you at the front.
We thank you very much for your mercy, great Wang Shitong. And thank you again for letting us into your library. And he's like holding Oki and like just both like, I don't know, like just mercifully, I know. Yeah, Al's bowing repeatedly and he's backing away to the door.
You are wise for one so young. Try not to spend too much time with the humans, Air Nomad. They corrupt.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you, Master Wen Shitong. No one's ever called me wise before.
I think you would
Call
do
me much
better with the
unwise.
spirits, Air Nomad.
Maybe one day. In
with that-
the world,
Wait.
air nomads have a lot of peace and prosperity to trade with the other cultures.
With that, Wan Shitong sort of folds back in, getting smaller. You hadn't noticed how much bigger he'd become in this monstrous form, but he begins to sort of shrink back down again. And as he does so, a couple of these foxes that you've seen before, these desert foxes, begin creeping forwards, making these like a little bit scared of him as they come forward. He looks down and goes, just sort of whispers something to them in a screeching cry, and they begin rushing off in all directions of the library. Al and Oki, we're going to leave you guys for a second, jump back outside with our little combat that's going on. Wow, Marco, what has happened to you on the stream? What's going on, man? Why is your face all blue and pixelated? What are you doing? I'll just refresh that. There we go. You're back. Yeah, I don't know.
He's corrupted.
He's a chameleon.
Spirit wild.
Yeah. So Rung, Marco, and Sherva, you see the Fire Nation soldiers, the two firebenders, are now guarding this metal contraption. The wall of sand moves further in. The front of this metal cart, the front of this metal contraption, begins shaking as it touches the wall of sand, and you see it being pulled towards the edge of the sand very quickly. Rung, Marco, Sherva, what are you guys going to do?
Knock out the last couple
Strike.
of dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're still in combat, so you can choose to do combat techniques, which means that you can do the defender maneuver, advanced attack, evade, and observe. Your choice.
Ooh.
I'd like to do like some sort of strike and potentially kick them at the wall of sand, if that's possible, or knock them back with like a
try
stone
and
pillar.
push them. Okay, I would say that probably what you're doing there. Let's have a quick look.
You can use the environment or something like that.
Yeah,
You could do a smash.
smash would work. I would say.
Destroy, destabilize the environment.
Yeah,
Like use the environment to like just like big
exactly.
like stand
Destabilize
and
their
stuff.
footing and have them fall towards the wall of sand. Yes, I would say that that'd be a smash. Absolutely. So you're doing
Awesome.
advanced attack. Could you please roll me with Passion? Marco.
Passione.
Passion. Pasido, please sponsor us.
See what Sherva's doing first.
Delicious passion fruit beverage. Please support us.
Yeah.
Would take it. I love it.
That's
Sven.
7, nice. So you get to do one of those. You can do smash.
Wait, no.
What you doing, Marco? Come on, Marco.
What's Sherva doing first?
Sherva, what are you doing?
Okay,
Marco
so
doing first? What are you doing, Marco?
There's 2 left.
Mhm.
And how far away are they now?
As you've rushed up, they're only 2 meters away from you guys, and the metal cart, the contraption, is another 6 meters away from them, and is now touching the wall of sand and shaking quite violently.
Okay, I want to whip out and strike and try to pull another one of them towards me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say to pull them towards you, are kind of looking more towards a smash in a way, because you're trying to destabilize it, basically pull them towards you. That kind of looks like more of a smash, I would say. So be advanced in attack. So Passion 9, yeah. So you can definitely do a smash. And Mako Bao.
Yeah, okay. I'll strike then. I'll just. Where is it? Where's the sheet gone?
Passion, please.
Just Passion.
Passion.
And if you could roll with passion, that would be very magnificent.
Oh, yes.
Or failure.
Oh.
Fantastic. On a failure, you get to do none of those things.
Oof, big oof.
Brilliant.
Marco just trips over the body of one of them that he's knocked out and just face plants in the sand.
No.
Yeah, so Rung and Sherva, you're both doing a smash. Rung, you're trying to smash one of them towards the wall of sand. Sherva, you're dragging another one of them towards you. Yeah, so each of you both mark a fatigue. And I would say that the negative status that you're going to be inflicting upon them, for you, Sherva, as you grab him, your whip goes forwards and wraps around his neck, pulling him towards you as he sort of like falls backwards. I'd say probably he is, I'd say impaired at this moment, as he has a whip around his neck and is sort of stumbling off balance. So this guy gets impaired. For the one that Rung flicks and sends hurtling towards, he is now sort of right on the edge of the sand that's moving towards him, and he's trying to sort of scramble back a little bit, but the sand is right up against him. He is so close to it. I'm actually going to give him afraid condition. I'm going to mark a condition afraid for that. Okay, their turns. The one who Sherva has the rope wrapped around tries to sort of shoot some fire towards you, but with impaired, I had given him the -2 to all physical. Oh, sorry, one fewer technique, so that he's only got one technique, which is to firebend fire at you. So as you take away his technique, he like goes to fire, but he can't because of the way you wrap around him. He just sort of stumbles and falls backwards, not able to do anything.
Can't have fire without air.
Exactly.
Like a big lighter.
And you need firebending comes from your connection. If you're not grounded and you're not solid, if your core is not centered, you can't firebend. He's off balance. He's falling around and flailing. Got no balance. The one that Rung has sent hurtling towards the sand, Rung, he fires a bolt of fire back towards you as he's lying on the ground. I need you to mark 1 fatigue for me, please. And then as the sand moves in closer, he goes flying up into the sand.
I can't mark any more fatigue, so I'm going to mark a condition.
Mark a condition. Yes, please.
A condition.
How many conditions do you have left?
Plenty.
Okay.
So what condition are you going to mark? Let me know. It does change things potentially.
I'm going to mark... I'm going to mark... Yeah, let's go angry. I'm so angry. I'm sick of all of these people.
You should start a band and write some songs about black parades and chemical romance.
When I was a young boy.
Teenagers scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah, so Rung. Yeah, you're as this fire bursts against your chest and sends you hurtling backwards, this anger burns within you, this fury at how dare they firebend you. And then the guy disappears up into the sandstorm. You feel a little bit better.
And angry at them. Like, how dare you make me feel insecure about my emotions and my rock bending.
Yeah. As the wall of sand moves in closer, the large metal cart is now half covered by the wall of sand and is shaking and being dragged towards the outside. It starts being pulled into this wall of sand. It is shaking quite violently. You see bits of metal get dragged off it, as it is not designed to have prolonged exposure to the deadly winds of the sandstorm. It is brief exposure. It's looking a bit damaged. Oki and Al, by this point, you've had your conversation with Wan Shi Tong, and you begin like sort of heading outside. As you walk outside, you see this shit going down. I'm going to bring you into the initiative with this now, so you guys are now part of this heading forwards. 10 meters away from you, you can see Rung, Marco, and Sherva contending with one firebender. Sherva has her whip around his neck. All of the other Fire Nation people are gone. You cannot see them anywhere. This massive metal-clad cart, with no horses or anything like that to pull it. No like ostrich horses to pull it, is being shaken apart by the winds and is half covered. Al, Rung, Oki, Marco, Sherva. Let me know. So are any of you going to be doing defender maneuvers?
I was thinking, could Oki call out to Al, because I'm assuming we're, in a similar location.
I think we're right next to each other, I'd say.
Seeing that the others sort of have the whole firebender singular, she might shout to Al and go, I'm not sure how much longer that metal thing that they're going for is gonna last. Should we maybe prioritize saving our sand ship just in case?
Your sand ship's right up next to the temple. I think you deliberately said you're going to park it right up next to the library, which I took a note of. So yours is much closer.
Could we somehow, the two of us, at least get this sand ship outside of this sand wall so that we have some form of transportation should the other plan go awry?
I'll 100% with that.
Remember, there's a podcast, Dave. So if you nod, people can.
Okay, sorry. I think Al was walking out, talking to Oki, being like, "See, Master Wang Shitong isn't a bad guy. He's just a bit oh wow." And everything.
So man just fly off into the storm.
Everyone's around this arm with like the blood being ripped. No.
Yeah, okay. I 100% agree. Let's look after the boat. They look like they have this.
I think they know this. Famous last words. So if Al, if you can get some air into both the sail and maybe somehow cut through this wall, I can try and steer the ship out of this sand. But I'm not much of a sandbender, unfortunately.
Ooh. The wall. What was the wall like again? Sorry, the wall. Was
the dome of sand around. So basically, the sandstorm that perpetually covers the library is shrinking and coming closer and closer to the library.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Al is panicking, and he's like, "Okay, let's give this a go." So what he's going to do is, I can cut through the wall of sand, but we need to get the boat across, and I don't know if my air is enough to push the boat without breaking the sail.
Rung, can you shove the boat through when we say when?
Could do that, or could I make a tunnel for us this time?
Rung, you're 10 meters away from them.
Could I make a tunnel for you this time?
Yeah, possibly.
That's not a bad idea, Rung.
It is sand, remember.
Good idea. Should we get back to throwing the rocks? Tunnel rock.
Remember, it's sand that you're on. Tunnels are not going to be super easy, but possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Al and Oki, you guys are kind of focusing on your sand ship. Did you want to try and get it out, Oki? If you pushed, and Al, you did some airbending, you probably could push it out of the sandstorm. You know, it's a very thin shell.
Al takes a breath and looks within himself. And thinks about that technique he learned in the library, where he can run around and do like a little tornado around him.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's considering trying to run around Oki in the boat as Oki pushes it through the sandstorm.
Okay. Would you like to push your luck for me? Oki, you're going to try and push the boat out while Al does this? Does
I think Al sits down and talks to Oki about this and effectively says, "Look, here's the plan."
Draw it out in the sand.
It's like
just blowing the map away.
So this is the wall. When I break through, you run through. Can I roll to here's the plan?
Oh, of course you can.
Okay, please. This could never go wrong. Yeah, that's
of course.
Creativity.
Oh, I should be rolling dice. Okay, the first one. Okay, here goes nothing. 10. Good.
10. Full success. Hold 2.
I had the whole 3.
Never didn't have it.
Oh, hold 3. Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Al,
done.
You begin sprinting around the boat. Could you please roll?
That's right.
Could you please push your luck? Push your luck for me, please.
Yeah, I celebrated too early.
Did you? And you can potentially. It says aid someone. It doesn't say someone else. You're someone, so technically you could add a +1 to your own roll.
I will add a +1 to that to make it a 7.
I'm going to argue that technically, with your here's the plan. I'm going to argue that you're technically because it just says aid someone. That could be you.
Yeah. I'm happy to take it like that.
I'm happy to
we'll
take
tell
like
this
that.
for our games. Like we rule this now. It's in the
please we're all in
rules now.
Al, you turn your failure of a 6 into a partial success, into mixed success. Please mark 1 fatigue as you are running around faster than you've ever run before. But Oki, as you begin pushing this boat, as Al is running and creating this spinning gust of wind around you in the opposite direction to the storm, As you impact the front of the storm, the boat just moves straight through. You're running as fast as you can. After a few moments, you push through the other side, and you collapse exhausted onto the boat, having just sprinted the equivalent of like 100 meters in a few seconds with your airbending. But your boat is outside the storm, and you can see now that the giant dome is getting smaller and smaller and smaller from the outside.
Al is laughing hysterically as he collapses.
I imagine so. Rung, Marco, and Sheva, you watch this happen as they just disappear through the sandstorm.
Cool.
Would I know how? Well, at least we got that ride.
Would I know how to work this ride? Contraption?
This metal contraption. You've never seen anything like this, Marco.
Never seen anything like it.
This is something new. This is something experimental.
Well, I've still got the tunnel idea. So I'm like making like a little mini tunnel in front of us, like planning it out. Like, okay, it's gonna be like a little rectangle, or maybe a circular tunnel. No, like the angles of the tunnel will be better if they're like rectangular. Should I make a tunnel?
Can you put a wall up?
Well, it's like, let's put a wall up. It's just, well, I guess it is coming from one direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Smarter than a tunnel.
You could do a dome and let it pass over you.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll is not.
You could sink into the ground because they never expect us from the ceiling, but the ground is a good spot apparently.
I'm feeling a little bit insecure about my rock building now, so maybe just a wall's probably better. Maybe not an amazing of an earthbender.
So my question is, what are you guys doing? Defend, maneuver, advance, attack, evade, and observe.
I'm going to attack the last dude.
Yep. So advance and attack. Sheva.
And then move to wherever Rung gets ready for us to.
Okay. Sheva.
I'm like, if I attack, I don't want it to be like overkill.
Okay. This guy hasn't taken any fatigues from you.
He hasn't taken any yet?
Just the fatigue from you wrapping the thing around his neck.
Look, that's probably... Yeah, okay. I'll hit him.
Okay. Brandon. Or Rung, I should say.
Rung.
Defend, maneuver, advance, attack, evade, observe.
Rung is getting a bit knackered at the moment. He needs to prepare himself to the Great Escape. He's going to evade and observe.
Evade and observe. Okay. Because the firebender is defending and maneuvering, he gets to go first. Sheva, he pulls a knife out and uses it to cut through the whip and cut himself free. Your whip is infinite length. It just regrows. You know this. It's easy enough to fix. You've had your whip damaged loads of times. You just have to get a bit of patch of leather and that's fine. As he cuts through the whip, he then begins running towards the metal cart contraption, the tank, let's call it, as he tries to escape. Sheva, you are currently engaged with him because you had your whip around his neck. If you wanted to stop him running away, you can mark a fatigue to block that technique as he goes to run.
Let me check my fatigues real quick.
I'm going to check my fatigue.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Your whip comes round again and cuts across his leg, causing him to buckle as he is unable to run away. Then it's advance and attack. Marco and Sheva. You guys are advancing and attacking. You get to go next.
Sorry, is it roll with passion?
You're going to... roll with passion. $11, Marco. You get to pick 2. 8, Bree, you get to pick 1. Marco, do you want to go first?
I had 2 strikes.
2 strikes? Okay, are you just going to mark 2 fatigue? Are you just going to let him pick 2 fatigue condition?
Yeah.
Or did you want to specify?
Nope, he can...
Okay.
He can determine that.
Yeah, he's down. That's it. Marco, as these fire-bending shots come out, he's just no match. Like, Sheva holding him in place, stopping him from being able to duck and weave. The fire just pushes against his chest, knocking him back, and he falls backwards into the sand unconscious. Sheva, as your whip comes off, it cuts across his chest, but he's already unconscious. It's just cruel what you're doing at this point.
That's why I wasn't going to.
Are you enjoying this?
God damn it.
Just licks the blood off the whip. Rung. Did you roll with creativity or harmony for evade and observe?
Oh, sorry. Let me do that now.
Do it now, you son of a bitch.
I just hope you wouldn't notice.
I see.
Was it creativity?
Harmony or creativity, your choice.
I'll choose the creativity.
Thought you might.
Hey!
Yeah, you can do 2 of those techniques.
Do I need to evade if no one's attacking me from what I can see, or?
I just thought you might want to.
I'll evade anyway, and I'll just
Do you
maneuver
want to
back
ask
a little
the,
bit
ask
closer
the
where I'm
unconscious guy
going.
what his principle is? You could test balance for the unconscious guy. Just slap him.
Look,
What do you believe?
stand for, son?
Tell me
As I
what you
kick some
believe.
dirt. What do you stand for? Why are you laying down?
You just sit there and you just commit. You're like, commit myself to beating the shit out of people who are already knocked out. All right, let's go. Yeah, with that, I'll take you guys out of the little sort of combat style. The wall of sand begins getting closer and closer to you, Shervo. Shervo. It's a combination of Marco and Shervo. That's the ship name. Rung, Marco, and Shervo. As it pushes even closer, the metal contraption, with a final groan and creak, gets sucked up into the sandstorm. With that, from the outside, Oki and Al, you see this dome shrink one more time. From the inside, Rung, Marco, and Sherva, you see as it touches the topmost spires, the storm touches it, there's a flash of light, and the storm dissipates. And the temple, the library are gone. Storm, library, gone, leaving you just standing in the middle of the desert, right in front of Oki and Al, with the sand ship that they're holding there.
What about me and Lee?
Oki, yeah, Oki immediately starts calling their names.
As you turn, as you're spinning around, you hear this coughing from the sand, and pulling themselves up from under the sand, you see me and Lee sort of spluttering, holding scrolls.
She sprints over to start trying to pull them up, like make sure they can breathe and all that sort of stuff.
What happened? We were in one of the archives, and then this fox came and started screeching at us, and so we grabbed some scrolls and ran. And
Firebrand priests attacked. One Tong got pissed and then threw everyone out and made the tower go bye-bye. We just managed to convince him. We managed to convince him to let you guys out first. Hence the fox.
They hold up, like me holds up some scrolls. We hadn't put these back.
Can I see any foxes around anywhere?
No foxes that you can see. You have a bit of a look. But if you want to assess the situation, we can get a bit more detailed information about the area that you're currently in.
Yeah. I think she just wants to see if there's any foxes, any sort of communication, and then otherwise what she might think is, all right, maybe you guys can start leaving notes for the info hunting foxes, just sort of say, hey, I accidentally have this information, please take it back to tower, we did not intend to steal it. I am sure he is going to be very angry. We need to try and get this back to him.
Sort of looks at you and is like, yes, that does sound like a good idea. We didn't mean to steal.
No, of course he didn't mean to. But he also probably didn't originally intend to drown you guys in the tower, but that would have been the outcome.
When we were running, we heard him say something about taking the tower back to the spirit wilds for some time. I don't think we would have been drowned in sand. I think we would have been taken there as well. We got to the front door as the tower disappeared. I think we were lucky to escape. I think any longer and we would have been...
I'll just puts his hand up from the sand because he's still lying in the sand. Just like a fist up in the air for solidarity. And just drops it again and goes back to sleep.
I would like to start searching the area for Fire Nation members.
Okay. Did you have a look around the area? Would you like to assess the situation for me, please?
Yep. Wait, oh shit, wrong tab. Where is it? Oh shit, that was a mistake.
What have you done? Did you close it?
He's rolled with creativity.
-2.
Oh, that's wrong.
That did do a -2, right?
Yeah, ask a question, Marco, and I shall give you an
Wait,
answer. You said you're looking for... That's right, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that is right. Cool.
Right. you wanted to know if there's any signs of the Fire Nation around.
Mhm.
There's a few strips of cloth, a few shards of metal embedded in the sand, but apart from that, the rest of the Fire Nation are gone. No footprints, no tracks, gone.
I'm just gonna keep looking, like even though I know there's nothing. I'm just
I
gonna
would
keep
say after a
looking.
few moments of looking, Marco, you get the distinct impression that they never got through the other side of the storm.
Okay.
At least we haven't killed anyone.
Well, they're not dead. They're just in the spirit worlds.
That's the problem.
Ah! There we go.
Which is possibly worse.
I didn't get to
Now
ask them questions.
But they can't now give the Fire Nation viable information about how to take down the Earth Kingdom.
They didn't get to
So-
see it. So that's okay. But they have questions I need answered.
I'd like to come by confident support like me and Lee. Like, well, at least we had a great time. We got to read some books, kick some ass a little bit, and you got to meet Wan Shi Tong. I think we all had a pretty good
Yes, that was-
adventure, didn't we?
That was very exciting getting to meet Wan Shi Tong. I didn't expect we'd get to ever see him. I hoped, but to meet Great Knowledge Spirit himself, well, I guess the next stage is to try and find a way into the spirit world, see if we can get back to the library somehow.
Well, you got to give them back those scrolls at some point there, so I think that sounds like a great new adventure one day.
Yes, and
What a better
we shall
excuse to
have
see him.
many stories to write of this event, and yes, I think we could try and write some accounts of our interaction with Wan Shi Tong and the knowledge that he had.
And us, right?
Oh yeah, remember, Al has a massive big bushy beard. Remember that one when you write the scrolls. It's just changing the truth a little bit. That'd be cool.
Yes, yes, we'll write down that you assisted. Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Marco is gonna start firebending.
One thing
Just
I
like
should say
a-
really quickly,
Just try it.
as
Like,
you
just,
just try firebending,
yeah, like just in
Okay.
like training stuff, just to get
you watch
rid of
as your
frustration.
black flames leap from. No, I'm kidding. No, so yeah, you just do some firebending training. Of course you do.
Like just to get rid of like like just anger release.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you just start, start like beating up
Yeah.
the cactus with fire. Okay, amazing.
Yeah,
There's like cactus
I
nearby.
need
you
that
get
for
some
water. I
fire.
need that for water.
You just watch as it
That's not a fire.
explodes as Marco just begins unleashing his fury on it.
No, the
Don't
cactus
drink
juice.
any of the cactus.
It splatters all over Marco's face, and you start feeling really good, Marco. No.
Cactus spiders. Oh wait, who said spiders on his face?
The sun is a lot lower than you would have expected. You were only in the library for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, but the sun is beginning to set. Time seems to have passed a lot quicker on the outside than it did while you were inside the library. And the other thing that you notice as well, Oki would notice this being a member of the Water Tribe, your knowledge of the moon and its cycles are very, very precise. The moon is definitely more full than it should be tonight.
Oh no.
It was only just sort of a newish moon, but it's now at least a quarter moon.
What year is it?
Well, yeah, that is a quick question. In all your research on Young Shitan's tower, does time move differently while people are in there? Because that's not the same moon that we had yesterday.
Maybe you just looked up from the other side.
I'm not sure. I mean, there was one account that we read of a man who went to find the library and, through some fault of his own, had angered the Knowledge Spirit, and the Knowledge Spirit ejected him from the library. And he claimed that he'd only been in there for sort of 30 minutes, but it had been 2 days.
Well, we were in there longer than 30 minutes, and this has been a bit longer than 2 days, I'd say.
Actually, Oki, looking at it, maybe a day or two. It's it's subtle. That's why no one else notices this. Like, it's only because you're so attuned to the cycles of the moon that you would notice this instantly. As a waterbender.
Water tribe.
Water tribe.
Well, regardless of, what day it now is, I mean, the sun is setting and we need to make or find shelter very quickly. Otherwise, this desert will not be fun. And Well, the two people that can kind of transport us both need to have a bit of a rest. So she starts sort of mother hen clucking around, like she is making everyone sit down. She is pouring water into them. She's getting rations. She's like,
Amazing.
everyone's gonna eat. You'll need to rest up because we need you guys to be strong enough to get us out of this godforsaken desert.
We do have a tent, unless we have like a big tent, like a big bivouac tent. Unless I see like something in the distance, like nearby distance, like a
just the
pillar
moving,
of
shifting
stone.
sand dunes on the horizon.
In that case, I
Looks
want
like
to
this is
set
it.
up the tent on the ship if I can, or get as much of like the sleeping quarters tent to be over the tent, just because she is afraid of sandworms, like snuffing us up in the middle of the night. So she's like, if we're at least on the the wood of the ship, like that's like something. If we can hear it, we can just quickly.
Is it
try
possible
and
to
go.
like earthbend like a solid platform for like the ship and us to be on of some sorts, or like earthbend up a wall? I know it's mostly sand.
You
Like,
could
is it?
try and lock the sand up like that. Yes, you could give it
Yeah,
a go.
that
Certainly to
doesn't
try and
need
compress
full
it.
hollowed walls, but just like enough to like
Just a
be low
platform.
to stop the sand.
Yeah.
to stop the sand just like
push
rushing across
push
you.
your luck, Rung. Let's see some pushing of the lucks.
I will push it, and then I think my pushing luck isn't amazing now because I'm insecure.
Okay, well that's not going to be fun.
Plead and rely. Insecure to plead and rely on skills and training. But I'm pushing luck.
Pushing luck,
Angry.
you're okay?
Oh no, I'm good.
That's guilty.
Okay, cool. I just
You're
want
not
to be
feeling
sure.
guilty. You're proud of what you did, you monster.
Even better.
Oh, Rung. You accidentally create sinking sand with a 4. Everyone begins sinking before you realize your mistake. Rung.
Rung just like literally buries himself in the sand. He's flicking sand off his sand bending skills in shame.
Rung, you are now feeling foolish if you weren't feeling foolish before.
Let the sands take me. You guys will be better on your own. You'll find your earthbenders.
I think can Oki try and sort of make him feel a little bit better, like sort of.
Don't leave me to the sands of time.
Yeah, you can definitely comfort and support. But yeah, you guys set up the tent. Me and Lee will help assist setting up the tent and getting it all ready to go. Marco, you said you're going to do a little bit of firebending. By the time you sort of calm down, you can take off the angry condition as you take out your anger on the cactus. By the time you come back, you've now got like these burning bits of dried cactus, which could probably now be used as a campfire. You sort of gather them up and bring them in, chuck them down. Each of you can mark off one of your rations. So you've now eaten one of your rations. As you sit down and enjoy, me and Lee will eat their rations as well. And as the night begins to go on, we will wrap up there. But before we do,
I want to quickly do something.
Yes.
He wants to go and give Marco a big hug.
Aw.
And when he came back from letting his anger out, and Al says, I'm sorry about your father. I did know him. I don't know my father, so I don't know what that's like either. But I'm sorry.
Marco, you can choose how supported you feel by this. That's up to you, Marco.
I just sort of like
He's doing his best.
like put one arm around like, yeah, I appreciate it, but it's not gonna pat, but it's not doing much.
Yeah.
We'll find
Marco,
the guy.
yeah,
That's rough, buddy.
it's
We'll
rough,
find-
buddy. Yeah.
We'll find who did it.
So, we have now hit a milestone for you guys going through a advancement and growth. So, the way these work is there's little checkboxes on your character sheet that we are going to tick off. I believe these are under the growth questions. So, we're going to go through the questions together. Question numero uno. Did you guys learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? The answer to that is a resounding yes. You absolutely all did.
Yep. I've seen the universe.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? You tell me. Do you guys think you stopped a threat?
We stopped
the Fire
Nation
Nation from getting information.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You absolutely did. So that is vital. That has actually been a really important thing that you guys have done. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
No.
Does that count that when Al was with Oki and
I pushed
Al
you
was
away
sort of
from
calling her
your-
out to...
Pushing you away from center, not towards center. But did you finish the session on center balance?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically
That's
only
all right.
Al
Nope.
shifted.
I haven't
Did
been
you-
on center for a while.
That's okay.
I'm a little bit off
because
center.
there's a couple of extra questions. So there are. So there's
Oki
also.
hasn't shifted. Ever.
Okay, that's okay because there's also specific questions that are unique to your playbook. So Oki, your one is: did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong, or that you should have listened to someone you ignored? Yes, you did. With
You listened to Al.
with Al, yes, you did. So you have marked all 4. Let's go through each of you. We'll go through your playbooks and see what each of you have.
Where
So
do you
Marco,
see this?
did you improve? Oh, it's under growth questions on the right-hand side, underneath growth.
Of
So Marco,
my...
did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens?
I'll say no.
I would agree. I don't think you've done that. Al, let's look at yours. Did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong, or that you should have listened to someone you ignored? Not sure. Did you? That's a good question.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'll think about that between now and
Did
next
you
week.
express vulnerability? Yes, actually, you have expressed vulnerability. You actually have back in the Oasis, back in the Misty Palms Oasis. You did actually admit that you were wrong about what was it about the Earth Kingdom and the Dai Li. You actually did admit you were wrong
me
back
thinking
then.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You actually did. I'm going to say that is a yes for you. So that is 3 that you have ticked off. Let's go to Sherva. Sherva, yours, and this is the same for. This would be exactly the same for Rung as well, because you're both at the same playbook. Did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others? Rung, absolutely. Sherva, I think you have as well. I think you've done your own things rather than just protecting Marco. You've done a couple of times you've pursued your own goals, so both of you get a tick as well. Which, if I'm
What would mine
correct,
be? I don't know what mine would be though.
well, you've not just protected Arl, you've also done lots of random
yeah.
shit as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
Your
That's very
focus
true.
is, so I think actually that means all of you have ticked 3. All of you have, haven't you?
Except Mako.
Except Marco. Oh, sorry, mate. Let's have a look at Marco. Let's quickly go through Marco's really quickly. Let's go through again.
I'm trying
Did
to
you
think
learn
of
something?
one
Yes. Did you
citizen
stop a
that I've
dangerous threat?
improved.
Yes. Did you guide a companion toward balance or in the session at your center? Did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens? Actually, do you know what? We could argue that me and Lee, you were the one who kind of agreed to take them along with Oki. You and Oki were the real drivers for taking me and Lee with you to the Library of Wan Shi Tong, which absolutely has improved their lives. I am going to say there is an argument for you ticking that one off, that you have improved the lives of them because you fought for them to come to the Library of Wan Shi Tong.
Okay.
You helped that guy in town as well, in the
You did
cultural
help the
community of the
guy-
hub.
The guy who was
Something
looking
in
for the
desert.
fish, you did
yeah.
chat with him when no one else really talks to him very much. He did say that. So you've actually done some pretty selfless things. I would argue that you have. And when you were with the Sandbenders, you were the one most vocal about not killing them.
True.
What
not
he
murdering them
vocalized
in cold blood.
wasn't what he was thinking.
He's changed his mind now, but
Yeah. No,
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
will
let me
I will
kill
say.
Not kill them, but destroy the. Yeah, fair.
But for me the biggest one is me and Lee. Like you were pretty. You and Oki were the driving force for me and Lee and exploring the library of Wan Shi Tong and going to that location. That was your focus. And actually, I would also argue that you destroying the maps way back in session 2, you actually burning them
Yeah.
so no one else could access that information. You might
Save
not know that
passing
you've
save.
improved the lives of a community. That was huge. That changed a lot of what was happening in the future for me because I did not expect you to just go, yeah, fuck it, just burn them. I did not see that coming.
He's done like that TV show where they tattoo the maps on themselves. He's just got the information there.
Prison Break.
That's it. He's prison breaked it.
Yeah, I'm going to argue that yes, Marco, you have actually improved the lives of citizens, which means all of you have ticked 3 boxes. So
Good job,
all of you get to advance. You can take a new move from your playbook. You can take a new move from another playbook. You can raise one of your stats by +1. You can shift your center 1 step. Or you can unlock your moment of balance if you are in the center.
A new move is like OP. That's crazy.
New moves can be super OP. The other thing I would say as well is that each of you has been learning new techniques with Brandon, with Rung learning sandbending, Marco starting to look into the lightning, Sherva with your the Kyoshi Warriors style, like the scrolls that you guys looked at. If you wanted to take those as a new moveset and unlock that bending, I would also say that you can unlock that bending style or that subset of bending or combat technique with your growth and advancement. I would say that you can do that. So where you add that is under your training, where it has the water bending or fire bending, earth bending, air bending weapon. Under that, you actually can write in your specialized bending techniques. You can actually add in this new bending style.
Nice.
If you wanted to. So you can choose that instead of other things. So it's up to you. I'm going to leave it with you guys. We're going to come back next session and we're going to go through what you guys picked and we'll talk through it. But for tonight, that's where we're going to end. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will be back next Tuesday for I think probably the last session of Avatar Legends before Christmas. So we'll do one more session next Tuesday and we'll take a bit of time off for Christmas, have a bit of a Chrissy break, and then we will be back in the new year with more Avatar Legends. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful time. We had a lot of fun with the session tonight, and from all of us here and Wan Shi-Tong.
Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again next time.
Christmas speech special coming up.
Bye.
There's no Christmas special. Goodbye, everybody. Farewell.
Bye. See you. Bye.